It is time for the Street Fighter League Japan 2023 playoffs. This marks the beginning of the end, as this week we will see who moves on to fight FAV Gaming in the grand finals. That means there's a lot of league play today, a lot of matches to get through. But before any fisticuffs, we have to run those introductions. My name is St. Cole. I am joined with Vicious. My G, it's been a long journey. How are you feeling about the bouts we are about to receive?
Man, this is the only thing I've been looking forward to for the month of December. Again, it's going to be as cold as ever. I'm not talking about the weather, but it's always going to be between these teams that are going to be duking it out in playoffs, right? We've talked about it for a very long time now, since the very beginning of the game start. Actually, more so in July, but the fact still remains. We still have the top 4 players, the top 4 teams that have accumulated all of those points week in, week out, that have made it here into day 1 of playoffs. To give you a little bit of a spin, though, when it comes to Street Fighter League and the rules, we have to let you guys all know before we get into it that it will be a little bit of a different look. We have the teams fighting off for a first to 70 points. That's right. These guys are going to be duking it out with the home and away advantage, depending on where they place in the overall standings. As you can take a look, first day, it's going to be between these two teams. Saishunkan, Kumamoto going up against GyoGun. The winner of that is going to be moving on to face off against Detonation, Focus Me, who have been in what could be said as a Cinderella kind of standpoint, right? A lot of the times we've talked about Detonation, Focus Me not really performing up to the standard that they have been in the previous seasons, but this time around they have the utmost advantage, at least in the playoffs. And of course, they're all gearing up to face off against those in the big spot in the grand finals. FAV Gaming, the titans of them all, who have been nothing but consistent as it is right now. Again, we've taken a look at what's to come throughout each and every week. We're here finally at the playoffs. One thing is for certain, Saishunkan, Kumamoto, as a team, as a unit, they've been doing nothing but grinding it out, streaming in all of their strategies. Same can be said for GyoGun. It really depends on how they come with it for the first to 70-point format. And again, we talked about it before. The first 2 matches is going to be best 2 out of 3. The last match, the anchor spot, best of 5. Of course, it's going to be the 10-point spread for the first 2 matches, then 20 points for the coveted anchor spot. We'll be switching back and forth between home and away positions to keep it as fair as possible. And you can expect that throughout the entirety of the playoff series. You can expect that throughout the entirety of the grand final series as well. With that in mind, we talked about what's actually on the line every single week. Of course, we talked about how important it is to become the champions of Japan. But more importantly, yo, the 8 million yen prize pool, it looks pretty nice this time around, I feel like, right? With first place getting 5 million, second place 2 million, and third place with $1 million in their pocket. But as always, you know, we talked about this even being on the program itself. First and foremost, we want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for even having us for the official English broadcast. And you guys can still be tuning into our Twitters as well. We actually have the tickets up for grabs, up for sale for the pay-per-view event. Obviously for playoffs day 1 and day 2, but also just as important for the grand finals going into it. But we've got so much to talk about today. We've got so much to talk about tomorrow. Saishunkan, Kumamoto, and GyoGun. All we've been doing, that I've personally been doing, actually has been watching the streams of every single one of these players. And I gotta say, it's so hard to call. I can't even figure out what types of strategies are going to be implemented in place in regards to the team formation, even the character selection. I've heard from a couple of rumors, a couple of things, you know, a couple of tweets been going online that there might be some counter picks in play, but who knows? At this stage of the game, I also wouldn't be surprised if they just stuck to what is their strongest suit in terms of the character spread.
It happened. You talk about that character spread, and that's ever so important. We've seen at the top level for all these teams that are out here have a good spread of characters, not only just picking whatever's strong, but picking what works for them and going back to what works for them. Mago, one of those examples, going from Scammy Camming over to the jury and figuring out how to play that character in his style, in his sort of way. And these teams having a lot of mixture. We talked about Detonation also having grapplers on their side of things, and the Trickster over there with Rashid. But hey, even today we might be seeing that zoning play from the side of Higuchi on from Seoul, and then from Saishunkan, Kumamoto, you also have like Nemo with the JP. There's a lot of variety of these characters, the play styles, and as you said it is hard to call who's going to take it. Historically, it has been GyoGun taking it over Saishunkan So Kumamoto, but this is where it really matters. This is where it comes down to the nitty-gritty, because whoever loses is on the stands like some fans, bro. They are out. The winner of today, as we have mentioned, will move on to fight Detonation Focus Me. Either that is Mago's team going up against Itazan's team, or it's Nemo versus Itazan. Either way, it's going to be an absolute banger no matter what happens.
Yeah, we talked about it before. Anything could go haywire in regards to the very first season of any game, right? Well, we had Season 1 of Street Fighter League for Street Fighter 5 specifically. Detonation Focus Me turned out to be the victors in a very convincing Grand Finals format too. So I'm actually quite curious to see if they're able to repeat these types of results. Granted, they're not in the same exact spot as they were in Season 1. Again, they've gone through trials and tribulation, and they're also facing off against two potential teams that could take them down as well. GyoGun and Saishunkan So Kumamoto is probably going to be the hardest matchup to call in regards to results. But no matter how you spin it, it's going to be the pinnacle of what Japan has been practicing towards week in, week out. We've seen the meta develop so drastically, right? Month after month, we've seen some really different looks at how the strategies have been played out, how the matchup spread has been like, and it really does matter when it comes to facing off against that 8 million yen, right? Like, we talk about the prize pool every single week. This is, that's a lot, man. And this is something that, something I will never be able to talk about, right? The clear advantage of having beautiful hair and the products in line for some of these players as well. St. Cola, I feel like you still haven't sent that email, have you, for the full bundle of the clear products? But we'll make sure we'll get you that package primed and ready. But one thing is for certain, we do have the representatives coming in from Saishunkan So Kumamoto as well as GyoGun. They're going to be speaking their piece as well as the representatives and owners of the team, just as we did from previous seasons. I do want to kind of know what the comments are going to be like for the team owners going into it, and being such full-fledged supporters of Street Fighter League overall, right? I think it's such an important thing to have such consistent teams show up each and every season and still believe in the league as well, to show off, you know, like the pride of Japan to face off against the pride of the world eventually. We talked about the grand pricing in terms of the yen, but we got to talk about what's really on the line here for the conclusion of Street Fighter League, right? The Grand Finals winner, the champion of it all, not only crowned as the champions of Japan.
I do know all equals great Street Fighter action overall, and whoever makes it definitely is going to deserve it. This has been the hardest league, I think, thus far. You have a brand new game, you only have a month and some change to get ready for it, prepare for it, and you're thrust into a league, learning the meta as you go, picking your character, hoping that it works out. For some of these cats, it's taking a little bit longer than others. A few other people, hey, they got with the quickness, but it just be like that. And then you have to learn strategies for the away and home side once again and really get that team element. That's the strength of this game, or I should say of Street Fighter League and just in general, of having that team element. It's not just about you. You might be a good player on your own, but you can't do it alone. You need your team to back you up. That's been a problem for some of these teams, even some of these teams right now. Looking at Nemo and how he has been saying things on FGC Translated, shouts to them for that translation, saying, I can't just rely upon Higuchi and Shuko to do all the work. I got to jump in there and get the victory and get as many points as possible too as well. We're going to be seeing the fruition of all these strategies, of all their training, the push of the meta.
さあこの後試合が始まりますが、ストリートファイターリーグをより盛り上げていくために無料配信をご覧の皆様にお願いがございます。このね YouTube のねシステム上、皆様の高評価数やチャットのメッセージ数が多いと、おすすめ欄に出たりみたいな感じで番組の拡散に大きな影響をもたらしますので、ぜひ積極的におすしょということで高評価ボタンを押していただいたり、チャットで選手たちの応援メッセージ送っていただければと思います。どしどしやってください。はい、お願いします。
Out here this week in the playoffs, and then of course at the grand finals.
That's what I'm kind of intimidated by the most, right? We talk about the strategies being implemented in regards to which team is going to set up their strongest player, how they're going to set up some of their strongest players, and who's actually going to be jumping in despite having one of the weaker stats, right? We talked about Nemo and his positioning. I think, you know, even though he is the captain, he doesn't necessarily have to put himself out into the battlefield. I think him being able to move his parts around is going to be ever so important, just as important as facing off against the players of GyoGun. Speaking of which, let's take a look at the teams coming in. The Prince of the Rapids, Mizuha, started things off for Team GyoGun, and I love it. Yeah, you get the teleport. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I love the green screen magic. It gets me every time. It actually gets me every time. The next person coming up. We've seen the exponential growth from the hero Sunrise. It's Moke coming up next with the ever-impressive Chun-Li. I feel like he's been the one to really guide some of the Chun-Li players along and figure out what needs to be done in terms of strategy against the matchup spread. And this is actually one of my scariest picks in regards to getting the W is Mr. Optimal. It's MATCH1 stepping up to the plate next, representing himself very well for Team GyoGun year after year. But the scariest of them all, if I'm being real honest with myself, the 2D god, it's Mago-san. No longer part of the September Club. It's all year long. Let's see if he has what it takes to close it out. Starting things off on the away side as captain of Team GyoGun. And of course, geez, what a character, man. It never ceases to amaze me how much he has up his sleeve in regards to like different looks. But this is one of the teams, right? These are one of the teams that we've been highly anticipating to show their growth. I think there's a lot to really talk about in regards to Mago's positioning now. I think he's talked about it a lot on some of his streams and FGC Translated as well. But we'll see if they have what it takes to face off against Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto.
Here they come. The Daredevil on ice, super nice when it comes to that Ken play. It is Kabe. Super difficult to deal with. We saw him work out at the top 8. The World Warrior definitely deserved that. Yeah, already showing off those fantastic gloves and his stance. Then after that is going to be the man always staying Gucci, always staying golden. It is Gucci on the Guile. Buffet of Booms coming your way. So his intro is alike. This man's also definitely a character. Already charged. He has been holding down back the entire time. It's a lot of frames he's been charging for. After that is going to be the one on Mami Marisa. Classic Mana, don't matter what he got. He's always ready prepared. The little devil that is Shuto, born to take down the best of the best. And even in the same stance, look at that, ready to let loose that stand fierce. I see you. Last but definitely not least, the Brute King trying to reign supreme. It is Nemo on the JP. My man, hands to the skies, because he's gonna take you there. Oh, dang, he's pointing right at me? Me? Looking at me? Yeah, I see you, Nemo. I see this team reign supreme. They are the higher seed than GyoGun. And we talk about consistency. This is a team of consistency. We've seen it in the playoffs continuously. Second place last year. Will this be their year this year? We'll have to see.
You know, I actually had time to take a look at the VODs from the previous season, and a little bit of a takeaway from their past performance. When it comes to like falling short in the playoffs, there's so much to be said in regards to how much work they put in, how much this event really means to a lot of these players as well. It means just as much for some of the guys that are backing these players, right? We are going to get a couple of words from the representative from Team GyoGun, Pusuke Toyota, the president and LLC of GyoGun LLC, excuse me, with a couple of comments going towards the competition. I would love to get like a translation. I know it might be a little bit last minute to ask for a translation, but I'm certain, you know, he's got an amazing team under his belt, right? This is a team of legends backed by somebody who's been in the scene for so long, right? Mago leading the pack for decades upon decades of fighting games, not just street fighting, right? I still remember, like, even in high school, watching him play in so many different God's Garden events, right? And he was always in like top 8s or grand final scenario. It's been very impressive. And up next, obviously, we have Nishikawa Masaki as the CEO of Saishunkan Systems, with a couple of words himself as well. I would love to see them maybe show up to the grand finals if their team, one of their teams has to make it on through, hopefully until day 2. So hopefully we will get to see that kind of support in the stands once we get out of the virtual arena and into a packed one in person like we did for the last grand finals. But we actually do get the translations. Awesome. So the president of GyoGun actually had his moment saying, I am very happy to be in the playoffs. We're unfortunately in 4th place, but we need to win every game. So please, please, please cheer us on throughout the playoffs.
Definitely well deserved for that team. They've been swimming upstream in the playoffs. Something new for them, but they got to break through. They said 4th place, but don't let that confuse you. Definitely took a lot of contention between all the teams. They definitely deserve to be up here. They're definitely going to be a threat against Saishunkan Kumamoto. We're going to get the words from Seoul's president real soon, but I just want to give a shout out to them supporting all the other players outside of the players in the league right now. Sasuma was on this team. Shouts to him putting things on the deck. But hey, we're getting the matchup too as well. Actually, before we get into that real quick, all 4 players, great gameplay throughout the season, and he thanks them for coming through. But now it's time for battle. GyoGun putting up Juri, Chun-Li, Cammy, MATCH1 on the bench. Now, you talked about MATCH1 being a secret pick, and I definitely agree. You think it's wise to put him on the bench for a little bit, maybe bring him out for the second part of things?
I think it's fine. I think it's a very aggressive start, being on the away side, not having the full advantage of you know, picking out some of your counters. But you're really looking at the team composition. There is no real like handicap, I think, just because of how well-rounded the group is. Juri, Chun-Li, Cammy, then you have a benched Ken. I think Ken would be way more deadly from the home positioning, in my opinion. Right? I think no matter where you put it, it's going to be fine, obviously. But MATCH1 piloting this Ken, I think he's better off in the home position. This is only the first set of matches that we could expect. I think this lineup with Mago kind of testing the waters for 10 points is fine. Again, this is for 70 points. We're going to have a minimum of 2 sets regardless, even if there's like a 40-0 shutout. So with that in mind, even being on the away side, I don't think it's a severe disadvantage because of Chun and Mizuha's Cammy backing up their captain, right? But Kabe coming up first, does this tell you anything significant, right? Setting the Ken up first against Juri, I think, obviously I like the matchup in regards to like Ken facing up against Juri, but him going up first for the 10 points, how is... Like, what is your train of thought here in regards to the decision-making from...
to me, it shows that confidence in Kabe, right? To be able to perform. To lead off the charge is a really big thing, especially for the playoffs. Yes, it's the first match. We talked about every match mattering, every point mattering. You want to have a big lead to start off things, so it's harder and harder for them to make the comeback if they do so in these next matches coming up. So I like that they had that thought process of like, I'm going to send up Kabe, because that means that Kabe probably ready. Like, they think that Kabe's ready to be in that position. We've seen Kabe maybe not perform to the best of his ability so far, because this is a new element for him. He got put in the second part of the season. He's a new addition over Sasuma. They traded him out. He's the only person to be traded out in Street Fighter League Japan so far. And when he did show up, he did lose the first matches that he has been up on, and they were both to Mizuha. They were both to Mizuha's Cammy. So I think this is also redemption for Kabe. To start off strong, to start off right, get that first to 2, get that victory, and then continue that momentum on for the team and showcase why he deserves to be here. We've seen him recently. Last time he came up, he got the victory. He deserves to be here. He just has to be that team element. I've talked to him on his Twitter or his stream, and he said, you know, it's been a little bit difficult to get acclimated to that team sort of mentality. People are riding for you. It's a different sort of energy. It's a different sort of pressure. Usually it's just about yourself. You don't have to worry about disappointing yourself. Having 3 other people that rely upon you and you mattering to their standings is a way different thing to have to deal with, but he's getting there. I can see it in his play. We've seen it last time that he played. We'll see where it really counts right here. And again, for him to go up like this, his team trusts him to start off the party. On the other hand of things, Mago coming up, team captain, brother, that's a good also way to start off in terms of morale boost, or that could be detrimental. Seeing your captain fall so early could be problematic.
I think it's funny to mention that as well. I think Mago, him setting the example, win or lose, is going to be a lot of intel going forward. So I think he's comfortable in that matchup. I think he's comfortable of being the one under the spotlight and under pressure because of how often he's done that, right, over the years, over the decades. Kabe, we've talked about him kind of excelling where he was the most under pressure, right? His startup of being in the league, right, it was pretty much thrust upon him, right? Him being a sub for one of the other players, I believe it was Sasuma, right? He had a very, very rocky start. 3 L's right out the gate, but picking it up towards the end, and not even just in the league. But you talk about his overall performance in the Warrior Series, you talk about his performance over in exhibitions as well, and just if you're looking at his CFN from that standpoint, checking out his replays, he knows what it takes to kind of study what the matchup is going to be like. So it's funny that we see somebody who's excelled this much in such a short span of time, going first against someone who is a wily veteran, right? He's seen it all at this point, and he knows what it takes to kind of get into gear for the final moments, right? We talked about his matchup as well. His matchup spread not necessarily the best in the second season, nor in the first, or the first and second stage, I should say, of this season, right? 4 Ws in the first stage, only 3 to his belt in the second stage. I think right now, once he has someone to like really focus on, those wins will come for someone like Mago. But we'll see, right? If we go down to what it's like on paper, Jury versus Ken, there's so much to really talk about, right? There's so much in the atmosphere of what's going on in the meta, what's going on with the character strengths, what the results have been like during the offline premieres. They've been such a telling story of what's to come. So, with that in mind, we'll see if this comes to fruition for the side of Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto. If this was a wise choice to send out one of their stronger components in their team chemistry, it's going to be Ken versus Jury. Here we go, game 1. Cutting off pretty aggressively, actually. The big punish counter also from the low forward could have been a lot more, but he's still trying to test the waters out.
Kabe, a man of tech when it comes to Ken, finds the opening DP, immediately gets the drive rush. No gaps, my friend. Again, the way that he passes his character, he has all the tech. He sits up to Angry Bird to help the Ken brethren learn. Outside that distance for the stand, heavy hit punish counter, but there's the DP, the raw stuff here.
Good defensive recognition coming from Mago up until this point. And that punish counter is everything, so that was an excellent choice for a punish counter. Getting the throw is just fine because they're stuck there. They can't back recover. They're gonna be pretty much punished for any wrong moves and hey, so subtle. Kabe already off to the start too. I don't like that. Yeah, trying to keep him in place. At least pay the fee, but that dive kick on the other side is everything for Mago. The sweep punish counter for the side switch. So smart from Kabe.
Don't want these sweeps every so often for the hard knockdowns. You gotta be super careful. Renko kicks out the only after it though. Does put him in burnout. Now it's Mago's turn to advance. Can get a lot more aggressive. Can develop that level 2. Get nasty with it. The drive impact, no splat, not catching the button. Will drive rush in with that medium, has him caught up in the corner. Now let's get active. Level 2, reverse beat conversions. Can set up some nasty stuff in the corner, and got to worry about things like this. Instant overheads. Bars back here for Kabe. Sticks to the drive impact after the 2 hits. Gets to pick up the DP ender, the pinwheel. The throw, one more hit will seal the deal. Drive rush grip, that's it. Punish counter.
There was a parry attempt. You heard the flash. You saw the drive gauge dwindle just a little bit. What's funny about that is Kabe actually recovered all of his drive gauge before the impact actually hit him. So we could have had a way to counter it out. And he also had 2 bars to his name. He was not ready for the very sneaky drive impact. Overhead coming in, no punish, but if he find a walk throw, drive rush forward if he's in place. What a time to have that interrupt crouch jab. Now Mago smells blood. He's gonna be chilling. As soon as that roundhouse was out, he was big chilling. Spend it early. This is gonna be totally fine. Get that drive exchange going, right? Get a little bit of your drive back. Get the damage lead. This is gonna be great for Kabe to move on forward for the drive rush. But it's the big attack from Mago, slowing down the pace a little bit.
Double 2 pack on the side here for Mago. Can he activate? Maybe the Renko kicks. Those raw sweeps are working out. Gets a throw up in the corner. Oh, the fade away in play. The shimmy, the finesse and bust, and then I'll put him to rest for the first kick. Kabe did. He did say, I have practiced for this match. You will not beat me so easily.
And that was a beautiful conversion, right? 5 frames, just enough. Standing light kick into the drive rush cancel, crouch jab interferes, whatever it needs to be. As long as he's +9 or +10, he's totally fine with that. That was a very, very well done punish from Kabe in the first game. In the exchange, go forward. Not too bad. With regards to the damage, but there's 2. We got 2 of the feng shui coming in from Mago.
It's true. Oh, he's in burnout. Nice way to make him waste that bar. Oh, calls out the shimmy. And fantastic going for that crouch fierce. Finds Bob with the run in his DP. Here's Mago though. Not deterred too much. The fireball, trying to get the dive kick. Anti-air is right there with the Shoryu. Oh, he's trying to get that instant overhead, the backdash. Did you see the clutch backdash to avoid that throw tech? I love that from Kabe.
That was so smart too. And I'm glad that he's not going for the anti-airs as much. He knew that Mago was pretty guilty about it, trying to get out of the corner. That punish counter was everything that he just did. Off with the crouch jab, getting the landing frame, perfect parry, and it's gonna be attack on drive gauge to the Domo Kabe.
Drive impact, he denies it. Oh, I thought it was gonna work. The OD did not work out. It's a burnout, wakes up with the super to get the side switch. Level 1, finds the exit sign. He's gotta play super tight, gets it back though, both at burnout, but listen, a lot more options, and it happens with this activation, this level 2 situation. Should be enough for the kill right here. The DP, no, I lied to you, one more touch, Will. He's at burnout and gets a DP for the follow-up that was chip, no dip.
A little bit too much dip for Kabe, sitting on 2 bars though to his name. This could be a very explosive start. You're looking to spend? No, he's not. He went for the corner carry instead. He was looking for a way out. Mago was ready for it, low forward to interrupt Kabe's approach. A single hit. Oh my god, when is that level 3 gonna happen?
Like it's coming soon. With theater near you. Damage. Sweep.
Jesus.
Man,
So quick.
Like 8 frames long. Touched at the part at the bottom. He's looking for that one moment. He's looking for level 3. Too far for the throw. There you go. The punish counter. Level 3. Dumped out. Kabe. 2-0 to start off the party. His team believed in him to get that win. They believed in him to go up first and start the momentum.
And I appreciate the fact that he wasn't overzealous with his meter. Right? There was a moment where he got the knockdown, could have gone into level 3 to force a last second mix-up. But in that scenario off level 3, Ken is not going to be at advantage, right? He's going to be at a decent distance away because it's not CA, it's not towards the corner. He can't necessarily take his turn by moving forward. He would have to kind of like wait for a whiff punish. So I like that quick decision-making from Kabe to save his meter and continuously press Mago with the plus frames. Like jumping on in there with jumping short was really impressive. Just staying on him was overall the best thing he could have done instead of spending his meter, forcing Mago into a scenario where he could have had critical art early and also get a single opening. We've seen that a lot. Like, single touches in this game are so drastic if you have the right resources, right? We've seen 40 to 60% comebacks that have happened because you spent your bar too early. So I think that was very wise for Kabe. Even if he managed to get himself burnt out, having 3 bars to your name makes the aggressor that much, or I guess the person who's on offense trying to make that comeback a little bit more weary of it, right? We're taking a look at the overall stats, man. I'm looking at the anti-airs, 50%. Looking at the OD reversals, 2 out of 3. Really important, by the way, for him to get those. I think the one time it didn't catch was obviously during the drive impact. The decision was sound, but a little bit too late, right? Because you need 3 hits to break the armor. Other than that, I think it was a very well-rounded performance coming in from Kabe, and overall, amazing decision-making. I can tell you, 9 times out of 10, other players with level 3, they see that opening, they're spending it. Whether it's in the States, whether it's in the European League or even the European scene, most players would have spent that cash. Not Kabe, though. And I think that's way better in terms of the percentages in regards to like sealing the deal. Well, speaking of sealing the deal, I think if Shuto coming up next against Moke, if he manages to take this down, this will spell big trouble early on for GyoGun.
Right. I do like that they have Moke coming up to play. I feel like they kind of use that as a call out. So I've been in Big Bird stream dang near every day that both the Birds stream just to ask questions about Marisa because he, along with Strider and Shuto, are the only 3 that I really see making moves with this character. Besides a few other cats, but at the highest level continuously at tournaments, it's those 3 that I see most continuously. And so I asked him about this matchup because I start to see it a lot more often. Chun-Li versus Marisa. Big Bird said that Marisa don't do too bad. In fact, does very well against Chun-Li. So, the fact that she can't really jump in, he's not really afraid of her jump ins that much compared to other characters because of a floating jump. Her jumping buttons maybe not as good as other characters. Has many ways to whip punch, like forward medium punch, can stuff, drive rush, crouching medium punch, get a bigger exchange. He likes that matchup. And of course, Marisa has many ways to do a fireball. She's got Superman punch. She'll take the trays off crouching medium punch and things like that. And Gladius, of course, is fantastic outside the distance. So all those lead up to, I feel like Shuto having like a decent time in this matchup on paper. Maybe it's not like completely winning, but it's it's good for Marisa overall to fight. So I think this was kind of a call out for Moke. Like, hey, I'm coming up as Chun-Li. I want Shooter to come through, so I have to deal with him in the anchor position. But then again, Moke has proven to be effective in damn near every single match. He's taken down some of the best JPs in the business, in Street Fighter League and outside of Street Fighter League. He's been dominant in the league overall. So I'm definitely curious to see what's going to be happening. I think they haven't played just yet. Looking at previous stats, they have not played just yet. In fact, this is actually the first time I do believe that Shuto has come up against this team. It is actually.
That is correct. Taking a look at his overall stats with his 7 wins out of 11 matches, he has not faced off against any of the members, which is actually really smart. I wanted to keep my pregame analysis in regards to the match very smart, or very short, excuse me. When you look at the archetype of Chun-Li, right, most of the time, she is like a counter towards the meta, in my opinion, and it leads to a lot of success. Looking at the tools that she is a very heavy counter poker. Her speed is great to move in and out of the boxes that you want to try to attack at. Her pokes are far-reaching and quick enough. I think Marisa does a great job of deterring those strategies, right? To keep it as simple as possible. You think about the armor from the punches that Marisa has, right? You also have like the phalanx. You have Gladius. Those two in general are fine. Gladius to get through maybe like a forward or medium punch, forward medium punch or back medium punch poke, right? You have Phalanx to get past the fireballs as well. And you also have the built-in armor from the stance. I think there's a lot that Marisa can do even without those factors, right? She's also a big counter-poking archetype, but in a more compact range. So it's going to be very scary to see how Moke is going to decide to utilize his pokes against an archetype that is deterred pretty much, or is built around stopping her normals, right? I think armor is going to play a very, very important role here for Shuto. I kind of am fearful of the low medium kick though. I think if there's anything to break the mold in this matchup, it's Chun-Li's low medium kick.
Yeah, the fact that she dies to lows and throws, we've said continuously, is a problematic thing for her. That's something that he's going to have to watch out for. He's going to have to protect his toes as much as possible. And I feel like there's areas where you can kind of goad them into doing Gladius and then swing up that send heavy kick, go into a sortie stance cancel, find follow-ups into Oki, and then just get into pressure mode. We've also seen, like, if you're too far out in the distance for a fireball to whip, you might get hit. So we'll see what happens in this matchup. They brought out Shuto early. Moke going up against him. First time they get to fight Shuto. But Moke, we've seen dominant. Has fought so many of these matchups, has won around the world too as well. Let's see what happens. Let's see what occurs.
And I'm glad they brought up the costumes as well. It's a good look.
Yeah.
I appreciate that from Moke. Here we go. Game 1. Team battle number 2, Shuto. This is one of the things I was looking for, right? There it is. Yeah, low forward already to stop the microaggression from Shuto. One of the biggest things I wanted to see was Moke's patience in the matchup. As soon as he gets the green light, he is always ready to go. And already at 50% Shuto, he could get thrown for his troubles. Oh no! It's the backdoor for Shuto. This is huge.
He hasn't caught up in the corner. Right where you want him. Love getting hit. Walk up, gets a grip with a throw. Drive rush stand pierce for the plus frames. Waits a little bit, finds a crouching punch in the Gladius. The Magnum bunker, the dump out, the damage. Damn! 2-touch Teresa.
The throw, it's not enough. Ooh, oh, the baseball bat as the punish counter against the OD Tencho. A little bit of panic. So this is where I see a lot of the Marisa shine, right? Those that can micro walk their way into victory. Into the spots where they want to counter. That balance of everything. What a call out against the big low breaker. That low medium kick just got smothered and destroyed. Balance again. Still charging up. No, he missed it. He missed the timing. That is very unorthodox. We barely see that from him. Level 2 in rebuttal for Moke. It's going to be huge for the corner carry.
Crouch Spears follow up with the meaty situation. Let's pick up again. How much meter she pulls in the sequences. Gets to drive the impact, no splat just yet. The pushback, you talked about the anti-meta right here. The armor moves, saving the day for Shuto. The DP dumped out to OD. Back up in the corner, both at Bruno. She was back with bar. They find an opening with a drive impact. Off with a slip thrust, the interruption into the super again. Built up another bar for the win. We talked about this character being a battery throughout Street Fighter League the strengths is being able to be as optimal as possible to get that bar back, get another level 2 finish.
OD Tensho. Liking this so far. Oh, that was barely within range. I think the crouch actually is what it made Moke run into that Gladius a little bit. You do have a wider hurt box sitting down than you do standing up. That's really good recognition from Shuto there. Oh.
What if the play right now is to avoid Superman punch as much as possible? Goad it out, find a punish, doesn't matter. You drive rush in, about to get the win. Pop up for the level 2, we drop the level 1 on the mini way. Gets a perfect KO though. Moke! Jesus. He is the stop sign.
Yeah, he's picking them apart. There's a lot that Shuto's been showing off with the drive rushes, right? We've seen what happens in the meta when it comes to a block low medium, like any low medium, right? Into drive rush. If you're not throwing out a light to cover your tracks and make it a true block string, it is mashable. It is absolutely mashable. That is tech that was found out early, actually, towards the end of June by the Birds, actually. That's the first time I've ever seen it, by the Birds. If you decide to commit to a block normal drive rush, you have to keep that string tight or else you will be punished countered. Now, I don't think the armor is going to be in play for something like that, so going forward, I'm sure Shuto will be able to clean it up. It's just a matter of whether or not he gets that opportunity to. But I will say this, Shuto had a big chance against Moke in that second to last round, right? In the second round, Moke had dropped the instant splat, right? The automatic splat, the death sentence into the drive impact, right? Crouching heavy punch into drive impact. Too many block frames while you're burnout, hence why the lock even happened. Then he tried it again, but Shuto was in a position to utilize that armor. I think that moment slipping past Shuto, it's not going to necessarily like deter him from like changing up his strategies, but it is going to give Moke the confidence he needs going forward, saying that, you know, Shuto is definitely somewhat shook. I'm going to keep going and pressing on with either forward medium punch, crouching medium kick as well. And now he's also going to change up his approach when it comes to like the guaranteed drive impacts, right? So we'll see if that situation comes up again.
What a whip. Gets a sweep off the feet. Again, one of these rolls, bro. Difficult. Now you call up in the corner again where she doesn't want to be. She doesn't have the defense besides his armor moves. Backs up for the Tensho kick to hit. One more good sequence, and it might be it. The stand fierce, no cancel, and no serenity stance conversion. The drive rush back throw, switching up positions for a little bit. But still the low crouching medium kick. Again, God, he's been able to slip these in continuously. Moke's timing has been fantastic. In terms of catching these walkbacks, catching him standing, he's landing everything. He is on set point.
That was Shuto actually pressing a button in moments where he was negative, right? He threw up the Gladius and still tried to press a button to counter poke. That was actually a big counter against him from Moke, and it was fast enough too. Low medium kick is not the fastest normal coming in from Chun-Li. Shuto pressed an even heavier button, or maybe another medium, to try to counteract. Here comes the balance. Doing God's work, as always. OD Tensho for the escape. Back throw, also sneak behind him. Moke gets smothered with a wake-up Gladius into the level 2, into the gates of hell you go. Moke not ready for that wake-up rebuttal from Shuto. Really, really wise choice to spend on that meter, too.
I like seeing Marisa players use that bar for something different. Not just land on that level 3 and save it for those finishes or big round starts. Use it for defense when you can. Finds a jump in. This is fantastic. Get that knockdown, drive rush into the corner, Superman punch. He tried to go for that grip with the ODDP again, saves the day. You have to call these reversals, these rebuttals. You're getting got, and you're getting pushed back to these effective ranges where Chun-Li wants to work. He is up in the corner though, but this may not be that problematic. I see that bar at the bottom. I see that perfect parry. I see a back throw. Moke has him right where he wants him. We said that she dies to lows and throws. The throws are coming through hot and heavy. He's got that bar at the bottom and dump out for that level 3 possibly to get that victory.
Love that, just tempting Shuto to press the button. Alex does get perfect parried, more than enough damage on the table, he was fully loaded. It's Moke with a huge rebuttal. 2-0 against Shuto in a very dominant fashion towards the end. He picked them apart, right? That Phalanx, despite how hard it is to throw a fireball against, man, does it have a lot of startup to get the perfect parry. Really well played from Moke. Picking apart the offense from Shuto, and he should This is the first time we see Shuto ever really down on himself after an L.
Right. That's the first time I've ever seen him break down like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, the amount of DPs that came through and that he didn't sniff out was ridiculous. I can't really see the amount of DPs that we had just in general here from the side of Moke, because it felt like the minute that the momentum was in Shuto's hands, it was away. Those DPs came through. Even though he was caught up in the corner, Moke had the right range and right reads to deal with the Superman punch and anything that came his way, especially at the very end. Even when there are different looks, like said, heavy kick being thrown out every so often, Superman punches coming through a little bit more often, it wasn't enough to take down Moke. Very, very dominant match. He even said that he had not played Shuto, he hadn't had that experience just yet, but he's ready to play against Marisa, and we saw it in kind. I've watched him play on CFN. I've seen his strategy. He knows how to do with this character at these effective ranges. 75%, 3 out of 4. Those DPs saved him from death's door and allowed him to get the victory and stave off that momentum. That is so huge because Shuto trying to ride that momentum, use that drive gauge to keep going and flowing. But when you're stopped like that, you're back to square one. You're like, dang, man, how do I get in against this character's good normals?
No, I mean, I think that's the proper assessment. You could even take a look at the stats right from the side of Shuto. A bunch of donuts on the board for a very specific reason. Not a lot of opportunities taken to this guy's from Moke. Not a lot of opportunities to even utilize any sort of OD reversal. Not that Marisa would have like the proper ones to utilize against someone like Chun-Li because of throw being a factor. Throws being 2 out of 8 though is what really told the story in halting all of the momentum that Shuto wanted as soon as he was put in the corner or a knockdown scenario. So with that in mind, again, like the tail of the tape really tells you exactly what Moke's strategy was against Shuto. Wait for the big counter pokes, wait for the big knockdown, utilize the throws to the utmost advantage, and if he ever keeps him in a block string, he has to keep it tight. He has to keep it tight knit. You can't have any sort of armored up Gladius to break through it. I think it was really, really well assessed from the side of Moke. Now it really comes down to Saishunkan, so Kumamoto's anchor positioning with Higuchi, with Guile coming up. Now this is a matchup I feel like is something that is a bit common in the States, but in the hands of these two individuals, I think Mizuha has had such a firm understanding of what needs to be done against Guile in certain distances, right? We talked about how important the Sonic Boom game is from either like up close range in a block string. We've talked about it from like further distances on if you use like the drive gauge as a way to measure it, like as a measuring tool for Sonic Booms. He can be quite the problem, but as of late, I've seen Higuchi practice a lot on his ranked like CFN matches, practice a lot on his offensive approach. I think he's going to be pretty aggressive going forward in this matchup particularly.
I think you have to be when you're fighting likes of Kami, especially like Mizuha, who will do these spiral arrows at these ranges where you just really can't do anything about it, like as a rebuttal. Like at max, you can take back your turn, but you know, if she gets the knockdown, she goes to town, she gets that Oki. And the way that he plays is just so smothering. You really have to get aggressive. I feel like you can't play passive against likes of Mizuha and Kami just in general up in this game. Watching Mizuha, like I definitely agree with you. He's been getting a lot more aggressive. Back to his, watching Higuchi get back to his Higuchi style. We have to prepare for Higuchi more so than the character. It's been a sight to see. In Street Fighter V, he was there at the very end, and we're seeing him get back into form. Obviously, it takes a little bit more time to understand how the mechanics warp around Guile, how you're supposed to play this game, meter management, all that stuff like that. But I feel like Higuchi's in his bag as of late. Upside down kick, definitely detrimental when you're fighting against the likes of you know, Kami, when you're sitting up that upside down kick against that crouching Indian kick, you're gonna be able to get that punish count at some distances where she can't really fight back. Seeing this matchup go back and forth with like Knuckle Dew and Punk, it seems like it's like pretty even. Both players have to watch out for different things. If you rely upon the upside down kick too much, that's like an easy dive kick or drive impact right back. If you rely upon too many Sonic Booms, you're gonna get, you know, spin knuckled in. But that also could be a way to lure them in and find a punish at, you know, different distances. So it's gonna be definitely a big back and forth. It's gonna be a first of 3 also. This is an anchor match. This will determine who leaves with the most amount of points for this set of sets.
One of the things I do like breaking down for some of those that are just tuning in for the first time or don't really have that type of experience to face off against like an upper echelon Kami or an upper echelon Guile. I think one of the big takeaways from either character, look at when Guile is maintaining his charge, either crouching or walking backwards. It makes it a lot easier to predict what the movement is going to be like in regards to special moves. Like if it's on a boot comment, if you're walking backwards, right? You can expect a flash kick if you're just kind of crouching down and waiting there. So you think about your approach that way. When facing off against Cammy, though, it's a lot harder, right? I think she relies heavily on utilizing her ground movement speed, utilizing her more compact normals, and she's a character that really hits hard if she's close enough to you. But one thing she kind of cheats at is breaking the neutral with that dive kick. So pay attention to how often she takes disguise, even if you get hit the first time or block the first dive kick, figure out a way to stop it for the next one, right? There's plenty of times, and also look at the angle that she's coming at. If she's coming at a very shallow angle, more often than not, it's going to be contestable, right? You're gonna have your turn back. If she's like pretty much on top of you, and her kick pretty much lands at like the chest and, or like maybe waist and higher, she's gonna have a hard time trying to find a faster normal to contest against. If it's at your like below the kneecaps, at your shins, etc., just know that you're not allowed to press the button more often than not. So just a small like basic understanding of what can happen in the matchup can really go far, just knowing these components of each character.
Seeing that top tier out here in terms of top level play. Higuchi going up against Mizuha. Now Higuchi said, I need to win today. If not, it'll be the end for us. Many people are watching and cheering for us, so he's gonna do his best. Mizuha did say he's ready for Guile. He's gonna do what he usually does, which is win. Spin knuckle into the fireball.
For the boom. That was huge.
Right, ready. Tyrus right there with the crouch spears.
So fast with the reaction. Oh, that is so well placed from Higuchi, utilizing that neutral jump, landing at the right time to get that side switch. All of the escape behind him. This is the advantage for Guile right here. These booms in particular, at this range, is going to be so hard to spin knuckle against.
Especially the timing too as well. The heavy, the light. There's the upside down kick. Gets a punish counter. Level 1 follow-up. Gucci going to spin that bar to get that one touch in oil. At least right now, finds the overhead. You're dead. He even walked back a little bit. Waited, got the overhit punish counter. This is Higuchi. Again, in his bag. Close, compact, as you said previously. That's the way to play.
That's a very smart decision to check the dash. I like that. Keeping Mizuha as hard as possible. Oh, you thought you could sneak in behind the blade? Nah, not for Mizuha's style of play.
Meaty blade. Saying light kick way after it though. Mizuha needs to get that. Oh, I was gonna say needs to get in. Does so. Gets some Oki off. Flash kick. Level 3 on the side here for Mizuha. Looking at damage, he has to dump it up for level 3. Level 2, level 1, don't do too much. It's for extensions and corner carry.
He built up a level 3 off of this. No way. He's dead. He's deader than dead. Yeah, that's way past the life bar. Yo, Higuchi optimizing the rest of his drive game to ensure that he builds up a level 3 for the finisher. That was excellent. But to be fair, that was pretty gutsy to utilize the perfect parry in between the chain normals, right? That's also been established pretty early on in the meta. It's very difficult timing to try to squeeze in a parry or something like that. Sure, the chain normals, and sure they'll have the advantage most of the time. But if you throw out that parry at the right time, you can get it to a perfect parry more often than not without like too much timing behind it. I've tested it out myself. One thing is for certain, Mizuha started to get a little bit more predictable with his light usage. I think it had a lot to do with the opening gambit. I think him trying to stagger his pressure and getting hit with the OD flash kick really set it off. If you saw the exchange afterwards in round 2, Mizuha kept it with a light string with crouching jab, crouching light kick, crouching jab again, and actually exposed Higuchi walking backwards or trying to at least maybe do an OD flash kick perhaps. But I'd imagine it was like a counter hit or something. So with that in mind, I think Mizuha, he was relying too much on his lights. He got predictable, and I think it was a good call from Higuchi, having the advantage also of the first round throwing out the perfect pair.
Also, talking about the fact that we have those dive kicks that this character has, how difficult it is to deal with when it's at the very tip of the toes. We see Higuchi implementing a lot of different anti-air options, crouch fierce, neutral jump, a lot of different looks to deny Mizuha from taking the skies continuously without, having to take a little bit of a risk. He's gonna have to come in with some different looks with these jump ins. I think that also resorted to him having to say, okay, I have to keep it grounded. I have to keep it with these lights and get in and get these knockdown situations with the spiral arrows and things like that for the conversions. Spin knuckles weren't really working out too as well. The variance on the sonic booms made it difficult to read the boom rhythm. So with all that frustration, once he gets in, left himself open, and now Higuchi scores the first victory so far.
That's a counter hit as well. Yeah, getting a standing light kick to Link afterwards. Already starting off pretty aggressively. This is the Shuto that we expected out the gate. Yeah, you cannot take off to the skies like that while he's maintaining that crouching charge. Sonic boom, set up the blade, and I like that. Yeah, it halts Mizuha for just a second. Will the spin knuckle arrive? Medium kick as a punish counter. His way to move on in. Keeping it straight. Yes, sir. Forward throw. Pressure situation. Drive rush forward. Back medium. Too far out to get a throw. Higuchi knew it. Full punish counter. Set up the blade after this. You know it. Oh, what a punish counter too. Crouching like
first throw.
Over to seal it. I like the damage and I like the confidence from Higuchi right now.
This is the Higuchi I wanted to see throughout the league. He's finally arrived. Level 2 on his side of things. Could dump it out for level 3 if we beat and see him get calculated with these combos. Spiral over that Oki. Bring up the backdash to avoid the throw. Mizuha not pressing his luck. We see the OD flash kick. There's a normal flash kick against a dive kick. Drive rush. Backs away from the grip. He's avoiding it. He's about to hit him with down on the Sonic Stepper with that level 3. Dumping out the damage. One more drive rush decision after this would be the victory. A fat overhead conversion would be great right here. He needs to get a little bit closer though.
Free to throw booms at this range. Higuchi taking full advantage of that. A little bit of a Sobot as well. One sequence for Higuchi, whether it's a light or a medium, could go into the drive rush. The knockdown coming in from Mizuha, checking the lows, checking against the movement from Higuchi. Oh, no flash kick. No way. Finish from the throw. The Dragon Suplex. Another finisher from the throw, getting him game number 2. Mizuha immediately looks to his teammates. Trying to get some words of confidence.
Dang, I can't get in.
It's hard. Even if he did try to get in, that down charge is masked very well from Higuchi.
That's right. Those flash kicks come through, and when he decides to go for the anti-airs, he switches it up. Sometimes he'll block it out, sometimes he'll get the flash kick only when he feels confident. Then you try to maneuver around the maze of booms. You're getting hit with these buttons too as well. By that point, you've lost so much health. He's been up so much bar. Then he hits you with that level 3's victory. Flash kick again against the dive kick, finds the anti-air. Whip punish against that back heavy pitch. Ends it with a DP. Damn, the forward carry and the follow-up after that. Can you make the most of this? Higuchi pressing the issue immediately. We talked about how you have to be aggressive right back against his character, much less Mizuha.
Damn. That was a sick opener, actually. The drive rush forward, low medium. It's so far. It's so hard to contest, too. Again, we've seen a lot of people in the meta try to contest these drive rush forwards, but if it's an early crouch medium kick from Dial, that is so many lengths away that you can try to contest. And it looks like the booms are coming on out. Solid puncher. We're looking for the exhaustion of the drive gate, and he does find it successfully, and that is so smart. No, it's the lock!
It's locked out, not locked in. Wasn't able to get that splat to finish it. Mizuha cancels into Soup Freeze out of there. Finds the escape option, but still, he doesn't go that far. Gets the spin knuckle through. One more decision to throw. Oh, he brought it back from the break, and he was in burnout. And honestly, Gal being a Baron of burnout means he's chipped out, but being able to stay solid, use that super to avoid that drive impact, being able to stave off set point. Mizuha is fighting back.
What? That was really crispy from both ends. Parries, anticipation for a normal. Both players eagerly reading the opponent, trying to see who's going to take their turn proper. Higuchi maintaining this. Okay, yeah, this is the distance where the Sonic Booms can be a little bit dicey to try to predict. And Higuchi knows it. On his counter, coaching jab to start it off. No, maybe he was looking for a mash reversal from the side of Mizuha, hence the drop.
It's possible. So I'm trying to walk him down. saying heavy kick, trying to principally catch a button or a sonic boom at this distance. Gucci back with level 2, possibly. Could pop that with the solid puncher. We'll just dump out the damage off this drive rush conversion. Fantastic stuff. In burnout, but definitely not out of options. And definitely in the lead in terms of health. He's leading. Mizuha, you're bleeding. You gotta play careful right now for Mizuha. You can't with a goddamn thing.
Out of the air, Mizuha. That drive gauge is coming back for Higuchi. This could be tough for Mizuha to try to maintain. And that's also very difficult to try to get that jump in. Despite not maintaining the charge from that angle, this crouching heavy punch can cover the entire world above it.
Got litany of anti-airs. Stand medium kick, crouch fears. All things to have to consider. A lot of things to have to worry about. Okay, drop a shab into the spiral arrow for the Naoki. Medium crouch fears. Gucci jabs back. Still caught up from the corner though. Gotta be careful of that bar. We see the super. Yes, we are. Kill the drive gauge, kill the character. Closer to doing so. Jump light kick, drive reversal. Offensive style, stay up in the corner while he backs off. Raw spiral arrow from the side of Mizuha. We talked about this kid. He's wild, not mild.
Can you do it again? Because of the burnout, you do have a little bit of an advantage from the further ranges. But here comes a solid puncher. We like this. The damage is there, but more importantly, yeah, Higuchi is able to get all of his drive gauge back because of that extensive combo. Level 1 is still on deck for Higuchi.
Buffet of booms right now. Mizuha going on a diet stand. Light kick gets a spiral arrow. Meaty crouch fears. This will be the finish. Have more in the tank just in case. But is able to seal the deal and stave off that game going. That was so dominant so far from the side of Higuchi. That ground game working out a lot better. Even in burnout, clutch decisions.
Damn, that was so fast too. Higuchi has gone in full hunter mode, right? He's looking for something that will just punish. He does get a punish counter on the throw. Sits him still. Lower throw now from Mizuha. Are you gonna check the lows? No, it's gonna be a spiral arrow to check any sort of normal from Higuchi, which I appreciate from Mizuha.
Side kick, flip the button. Side kick again to get that Oki, but Higuchi forced to back off. Caught up in the corner, but now that we fight outside that corner. The DP is there, the anti-air ready. Take the shot.
You see both players testing the reactions of their opponents. Some of these minute decision making, right? With the drive gauge, you saw the drive rush forward blade from the side of Higuchi to see what Mizuha would react with. Mizuha's throwing a lot of lights also in the face of Higuchi to see if he'll react with something else. Low medium kick is the big opener. The corner carry is there with the spiral arrow. Forward throw. Does he back roll himself into the corner? He's about to. The blade is set up.
When he gets the knockdown.
The cross.
Backs up looking for a rebuttal. Backdash is clutch here. This should be enough for the finish. And seems a bar at the bottom. I love seeing early backdashes up in the corner against the throw. And this is Scammy Cam. She loves that strike throw pressure continuously. Flash go. He's so ready and steady. Same way that he started off things in the previous round. ODD peak gets the side switch though. Spin Nichols in, gets the counter position. Now you're in the corner. Now listen, this is bad. Never mind. The back though is fine here. The side of Higuchi. Upside down kick, no punish counter for the follow-up.
Even the rest of the crowd was stunned that that back throw even came out from the side of Higuchi and connected to that. Oh, he thought he had to punish. This is everything right here. Higuchi needs to lay it on the line. Level 3. Let that drive gauge build up. You're actually in the perfect position to throw out 2 booms in a safe manner. Here comes number 1. No, he faked it. He wanted the critical art. He wanted to bait Mizuha. That's 1. Punish counter 2. To get it down. 3 games to 1. Higuchi tempting Mizuha. 2 sequences back to back, getting countered and smothered. The medium range from Guile. Speaking volumes. Throwing some looks, a couple of daggers at the crowd as well. 3-1 for the side of Higuchi. That puts 30 points to GyoGun's 10. Saishunkan Seoul, Kumamoto maintains their lead going into the second phase of this matchup. Now, as we get ready for the stats, we do get a status change. Saishunkan Seoul, Kumamoto coming in with their 30 points. They're going to be put on the away side. GyoGun needs to do everything in their power to prevent those 70 points from happening at the deficit.
That's true, but as dominant as they look right now. Good luck. Man, the way that Higuchi played, even the way that he is playing against Cammy in general, compared to how he was previously in the league. Just in general against like Kazunoko and such. Look at those anti-airs. Against a like a Cammy, you're worried about dive kick, jump fierce, empty lows. You're worried about like the throw if you go for like a preemptive parry. To get that many dive kicks is next level. 12 out of 17, 71%. And DPs were perfect on both sides, but more importantly for Higuchi, since he got that victory, along with those anti-airs, shows you how absolutely clutch that he is. 5 tech throws out of 12, 42%. Nothing to sniff at when it comes to the likes of Cammy. We saw him also avoid a throw with a backdash, things like that. Good alteration of defense when caught with that strike throw pressure from Cammy. We did see a lot of back throws happen where positions were switched and things like that, but overall, that defense and dealing with dive kicks, the throw pressure, and the grounded game with the parries out every so often led to victory. And Higuchi with that defense and that offense, more importantly, taking down Mizuha. This is the Higuchi I've been looking for. We've seen glimpses of it. We've seen flashes of it. But now we're seeing full power Higuchi. 30-10.
The wild thing about it all is he's the full hybrid, right? We've seen the aggressive side, we've seen the defensive side. His decision-making overall to tempt Mizuha into big errors has been phenomenal, right? I think that's going to be very scary moving forward. I don't think you want to put Mizuha in for the run back, like pushing Honor aside. I think that is a huge statement to make for Higuchi in regards to his advantage and the knowledge in the matchup. So going forward, what do you even do to kind of stop that type of monster? And I also wouldn't be surprised if Saishunkan Soul Kumamoto took the time out to put Higuchi in the anchor spot again, based off of that performance.
Could happen like that, but yo, listen, as you pointed out, pretty happy to see people playing with these costumes. I picked up most of them. My wallet is definitely empty, but it was worthwhile. All of these costumes have been super sick. I've been seeing all the players play with them on stream. It's been great to see everybody switching it up and implementing their own colors and costumes and claiming them also on Twitter and in tournaments and things like that. So I love seeing more variety on the streams, and shout out to Capcom for putting more of these out. I'd like to see Costume 4. I'm not going to lie, Capcom, drop a few more on us.
I would be very surprised if they dished it out that early. I think that would be a great surprise for Capcom Cup. But as it stands right now, man, I am thoroughly satisfied with all of these costumes. I have it all on my PS5, although I am more of like a PC player. But I've been blessed with a lot of these costumes, so man, it's been very, very interesting to see like the different looks and also the different occupations some of these characters have. I didn't know Guile was a bartender, man. That was actually a very big surprise. But also one of the things that I like the most. This is really, really random. I think the fit on Mano, I think hers is like one of the most outstanding ones out of the group, right? I think that's been really, really well done, and also kind of like shows what she's really about in regards to like her finances, right? But also big shout outs to the group that have been putting in all the hard work for Street Fighter 6. Best fighting game of the year, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, they should have had a walk-up. They should have had their speech. They should have been able to grasp their award on the big stage, in my opinion. Esports Awards, they could have done it bigger. But there's still a chance for the Japan Esports Award. That ceremony is going to be happening. Also, in the category of best esports event, they have Street Fighter League Japan as well as a CPT, and also Game of the Year or Best Fighting Game of the Year as well. In that regard, Street Fighter League and Street Fighter 6 both in the running for Japan Esports Awards. You guys got to be tuning in for that one. Check out the QR code down on the bottom right. Be sure to scan it in. If those that are blessed in Japan have the luxury to go to that event, I highly encourage you guys to do so. It seems like a really, really fun time. But overall, again, thanks for all the support that you guys have been putting in over in Japan, over in the States, over in the EU, anywhere that you've been tuning in. We obviously appreciate the heck out of you guys for making this the best fighting game of the year. And it really does feel that way. And it's been a long time coming. As a diehard Street Fighter fan from out the gate, it's been a long time coming to see a product really cater to the needs of both the casual audience and the just like that, we had a little bit of a switch up in regards to the home and away positioning. That's how it's going to roll down here in playoff time. My name is Vicious, back at it again with St. Cola. A little bit of a mishap. I didn't actually think we were going to go into a break, to be honest with you, but the fact still remains. Saishunkan, Seoul, Kumamoto are the ones in the hot seat. They have 30 points to their names. GyoGun sitting at 10. They have the home field advantage this time around. St. Cola, how do you feel about this current lineup from the team from the sun?
Bro, before I can even say anything, I think the sun is shining on them. You're starting with the JP, you're going to have a Ken in the middle, and you're going to end it with Guile Higuchi, who has been absolutely fantastic to possibly close things out. I think this spread is good, but it really depends on Nemo right now. We talked about how Nemo hasn't really had the best time in the league, to give him a lot more time to shine. I feel like people have gotten a hold on how to fight JP, so you can't just run that single player sort of style. One thing I talk about with Jammers a lot is like the fact that JP players have to kind of learn matchups, as people have had to acclimate against that character. All the belly aching and things like that have led to people being like, I have to figure out how to fight this character. And so the JP players have to actually get up to standard, you know what I'm saying? Like, get up to par. Nemo, one of those cats, going up against Macho with a secret pick. Now you tell me how you feel about Macho coming up against Nemo.
This has got to be a matchup Nemo had prepped for, right? Like, this is something I've for one, at firsthand seen him practice over on his streams, but two, it's in the hands of MATCH1, right? Like, MATCH1 is known to give a ton of different looks and fully utilize the strengths of a character. So this is going to be tough, I think, for Nemo overall. We talked about Nemo even not having to play technically, and him like having to rely on his teammates. I know he doesn't want to do that, but they've been doing such a great job. Like, why not keep it running, right? I think if there's any moment right now for Nemo to step up, I think right now is fine, considering they have a 20-point lead. So this is going to be a very interesting development, I think. Nemo, he says he's prepared. He's shown how prepared he was in his streams as well. I really want to know what types of different looks MATCH1 has prepared for this matchup specifically.
Now you've seen it a lot with the Birds. We've seen a lot of this matchup just in general in a lot of top spots. Not so much these last couple of weeks, past month or so, but generally speaking, it feels like the JP players have an edge in this matchup. Stand fierce, deals with a lot that Ken wants to do outside his range. The fireball pressure as well. You know, if you're Ken, you got to get close enough to use those fireballs as pokes, and they can be problematic if he runs his OD ghost at you. He'll clip you, get the knockdown. If you put full screen, you have to find a way in. Ken does have fantastic ways in with drive rush stand fierce, drive rush medium kick, but it's just JP's bless buttons and the way that this character plays overall, and how you get him on the knockdown situation, you have to worry about OD amnesia, just overall, no matter what character you play, that make him so effective. Yes, you have OD fireball from the side of Ken, but something more you have to think about once you get these knockdown safe up shoves and things like that, you still have to worry about OD amnesia coming out. Overall though, Nemo, we talked about him being better and better as the season's going on. It's taken him a lot of time to get to that point. I feel like the last couple of weeks he's gotten a little bit better. He's gotten cooked as well, but I definitely see the game plan coming through. I did watch his stream when he was training. He was looking over his past matchups. I know that's a horrible thing to have to look at, but you have to do it. You have to take the medicine. You have to look at where you failed and how you failed. And he's been grinding it out hours upon hours, whether it be playing matches, looking at previous results, also watching JP players, other JP players play the matchup, so he's prepared. MATCH1, you talked about him using all the parts of the character effectively, and when he gets the hit, he makes it count.
No, without a doubt. I think you actually put out a really, really good statement too in regards to the usage of OD Fireball in this matchup. I think this is very difficult to play defense against. There's going to be moments where he's not going to be able to like use it every single time, but it's still a very important factor to consider in regards to JP having to play defense against. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. We'll talk about that moment when it happens. Granted, it will happen. It's really going to be up to Nemo to even prevent that situation from arising. So we'll see it. A little bit short of the drivers forward.
Oh, what's that? We're right into his arms. Back throw here, meaty spike, but I like that. Getting him punished kind of right after. For that jab. This wasn't going to be enough.
Whoa. Good defense from MATCH1. Back throw. This is everything now. We talked about that moment the defense from Nemo. Let's see how he gets himself out of the corner.
OD fireball, but interrupts the drive rush with a crouching medium punch. Man!
That was a great time to get that extension 2 off of the counter. That was so much for Match1. Nemo pressing a button where he shouldn't have during the Jin ride. He mistimed it. There is a way to kind of like press it at the same time or a little bit later than the follow-up, but yes, he didn't get that timing right. And even Match1 right now, he's looking a little bit stunned off of that interaction from Nemo.
Full target conversion and close range fireballs, definitely the way to play, but you have to be careful. Finds the anti with the crouch Pierce. Pierce, knockdown, full screen. How does he get in? Starts up with the fireball, but Nemo striking with a crouching medium punch, getting a lot more aggressive. Ooh, too far on the distance. A stand heavy kick, got the punish counter. Enhanced Tatsu. Oki followed right after it. Hit him with the second hit of the target combo. What was Nemo doing? Activation, Ghastly goes. Put this man through the most. Burn him out. There it is.
That's not too bad if you're Match1, I think. Not dead yet. What an important break! The punish counter. Yeah, Match1 trying to sneak one in there. Not even the right strength to do it with the Dragon Lash either. Good recognition from Nemo.
Yeah, surprised he went for it. Maybe looking for a throw tech, but still. Like the space. Get that early lead.
Away.
Kill that gauge. Yeah.
There. Still being able to spin away and catch a normal from Match1. Overhead is blocked.
That drive gauge, not to get so healthy. The interruption, wasted bar. Back up in the corner, has to get in real soon. Pick up, OD. Looking for that level 2 immediately. Has that departure out and about the teleport. Gets a grip, and that's it. Nemo getting super aggressive, super active, and deleting the drive gauge whenever he can. He'll stuff a drive rush, make you waste that bar, and put you back to full screen.
I think there's a lot to talk about in regards to Match1's performance over Nemo. I think Nemo is playing it straight-faced, exactly how he should, getting some of the big errors that Match1's been throwing out there in a numerous amount of sequences. There's so many errors that I can count from Match1 that have led to his demise, and also the reset of the situation of trying to close the gap. I think obviously the main goal against JP, you gotta close the gap, gotta get him to the corner, get him in places where he can't throw out the ghouls, he can't throw out the spikes so liberally. I think Match1's activity against the departures was fine, but everything else, I mean, he's let slip up while he was on offense, right? One of the early starts that we saw was him falling susceptible to the back grab early from Nemo and losing all of the momentum, right? Really, really early on. So I think Nemo, he hasn't really been challenged in this matchup yet. It's really Match1 who hasn't woken up, in my opinion.
You know, I gotta kind of agree with that. I do feel like that when Match1 was on the back foot, we haven't really seen him find a way back in or find a rebuttal. Having those mistakes, hey man, maybe that will happen here or there, but they're too consistent, too often, and he's not been able to pull it back after that. For a lot of Kim players, hey man, maybe that'll happen when you push back to the corner. How do you work your way in? Drive rush raw has not worked out for him. Maybe more OD fireballs just in general, but at spaces where you'll be able to find a normal right after it on hit. We haven't really seen too much from the side of Match1 in terms of offense after he loses that first burst of momentum. And as you pointed out, Nemo just playing his game, having fun, getting aggressive with it, drive rush, crouching medium punch, set out the departure, lock him down full screen, killing the drive gauge continuously. Match1 has to be aware of those options. They pull out parry when need be, so his drive gauge isn't getting depleted. We talked about Match1 being that secret weapon. He's got to showcase that.
When he does have his moments on offense, he shines pretty well. In the moments where he does have his errors, though, Nemo makes the utmost attempt to punish as hard as possible, or at least lead him into a moment where he's favorable in the position. Right? I think this is going to be fine right now, right at the start for Nemo. And it's really up to Match1 to give him that different look that we talked about earlier.
Nice. Too far for that Pierce. Finds a stand. Pierce drive rush ends it with a DP. Whistling for that jab. No drive impact just yet. Macho locking down the corner. Odie fireball fades out. The Amnesia finds a punish. Drive rushes in. Crouch, fears, drive rush, impact. Yeah. Splat. It's a wrap. Perfect KO. This is the Macho Ball we want to see. Mr. Optimal at the ready.
What's really smart about that is his decision to lay down the normals in a way where you cannot get an Amnesia as a reversal, by the way, or at least out active enough on time. Brian F has been talking about that a lot on Twitter. There are certain strategies that could be in place that can stop the Amnesia from coming out. That's really smart. Macho showing that example off.
Base on the OD EP. Are you kidding me? This guy's nasty. He's not seeing the gates down for that one. Goosebumps. Oh man, it's looking dark. Are you afraid of Dark Ghost from the low? Forward heavy kick. Stand fierce. You're deader than dead. Nemo on set point.
Continuing off where RL Stein couldn't finish, huh? We got the full Goosebumps out in effect right now from Nemo. Telling a really, really scary story thus far with a very aggressive JP. And then the cane swing right in front of his face. He tried to counter it.
Throw the low. He's got the bar at the bottom. He's going to smack him with that level 2 after that crouch fierce and burn up, but definitely not other options. The ghastly goes, putting him through the most, and that's a wrap. Perfect KO for son of Nemo. Don't ever doubt the brute key.
Nemo-san, I apologize. I was not aware of your game, sir. I was not aware of your game. Damn, that hurt. That level 2 did so much damage towards the end. Despite all the scaling, sheesh, I didn't think that was going to close it out. I thought he was, in my mind, I'm glad you actually ran with it with your commentary because I was going to say, we only have to go for a reset here. That was actually mad impressive.
Dude puts people through the most when it comes to the mix. We see it with the Age Reflector from Urient. We're seeing it with that level 2. And honestly, there are slight, minute defensive decisions. We see more of the perfect parry come through, normal parry, and better defense and not getting called out Amnesia so much. I feel like that's been a problem for him. He stated it's been a problem for him to have these defensive moments. Switching it up so he's not read so easily has allowed him to stay solid and then go back on offense. Even though I don't think he was pressured that much, even having those minute decision makings allow him to not be put up in the corner and get harassed by Ken continuously, leading to a lot easier victory. But man, this is the Nemo I want to see. I like seeing all these players really come out for the playoffs. Look at that. And the anti-tires were perfect, but really I wish we would have got a drive rush stop stat because he did so well with that in the early parts of the round 2 as well. This dude, Nemo, I'm sorry, man. You're out here. That JP at the ready, and you definitely deserve to be a captain.
This guy's a leader, man. Lead by example. That's somebody I can get behind, that is for sure. Nemo striking while the iron is hot. 40 points to their name. Despite being in the away position. Yo, Kabe is coming up next. That intimidating Ken. And this is actually one of the scariest situations that you can ask for. This guy has been so meticulous with all of his punishes that he had against Mago. Best believe you got to send someone else up. It can't be Mago for the run back. It can't. And then after all is said and done, Higuchi as the anchor yet again, exactly what we talked about before the break happened. This is actually in line with Saishunkan Soul Kumamoto's strategy to take it all the way through. This may very well be the final set, to be honest with you.
Don't say that, Vicious. I need more. I need more Street Fighter. Y'all at home need more Street Fighter. GyoGun, I need y'all to start swimming upstream. If you have to come up in the air, do that. I guess fish don't do that, but still, I need you to do something different. Moke coming up to play. It's gonna be Chun-Li versus.
I didn't think about it so now.
Kid.
You got me.
It's really, I'm sorry. Oh man, what do you think about this matchup? I feel like both sides complain so much. Ken players complain about the Chun-Li. No, I saw Valmaster complaining about Ken. I'm like, bro, someone needs to pick something in terms of how this matchup goes. So I guess if both sides are complaining, it's probably even, probably annoying for different factors. I feel like OD Fireball fights really well against Chun-Li's Fireballs, disallowing her from walking behind it. But she's got such great normals on the other hand of things, and you know she can't really deal with the throw pressure as well. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of things back and forth in this matchup that can happen, but it comes down to Kabe himself. Is he prepared again when the team's riding on him even more so? Yes, they're up in points, but this could be like a clincher right here, even more so. So like there's even more weight on him. He's shown what he can do in that first match. He's shown that, right? But again, as things go on, more wear and tear, more momentum, you know what I'm saying? So it might be more difficult for him now.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much on the nose with that analysis. You know, Ken versus Chun-Li, I had the luxury of being able to face off against a couple of Chun-Li's on my breaks, actually, with both Luke and Ken. I think I kind of agree, despite the gripes and complaints from Valmaster. I think Valmaster is not too far off in his cries for help. I think it's fair. I think a lot of players are allowed to do so if they don't play Ken. But all jokes aside, I think Chun-Li has the tools to stop a lot of the playstyles from Shotos. Right? Ryu and Kenshi has like a lot of the tools to stop the fireball game. Even if she can't throw a fireball herself from certain distances, there are ranges where she's allowed to. Like it either be a fireball or a medium punch from certain ranges. It's very difficult to contest. If Kabe has the discipline to walk her down, I think we're going to see a different story, right? It's really up to Moke's recognition of the distance from Kabe and also when to utilize the low medium kick rather than any of the medium punches. I think that's going to be the tale, at least from the very beginning. In terms of their offense after a knockdown from both, very stellar offense from both, right? That's going to be something that doesn't need analysis. It's really up to who lands that initial knockdown and how, I think. Kabe has done a great job of making the slow approach in the very beginning. Moke is used to that speed already. If I were to make any sort of predictions as to how it's going to turn out, I think Moke is going to be the one to step forward first.
To initiate. I agree with that. You know, start the party off, see how Kabe's feeling. And I think you can do so in this matchup a little bit more often than not. You have the Hazachu to cut through, so a bad fireball will lead into a lot of damage, corner care for the character, and allowing her to start the party. Even the idea of that may cut down on the fireball play. So you have to get close, compact, if you're the likes of Ken. But in terms of like dealing also with this character on defense, you know, you do have Wake Up Lightning Legs that on punish counter leads to a lot. Something that Kabe has to really think about in terms of pressure. He'll get that corner carry. He'll get that chance to happen because Ken will do so at every single game to get that corner carry off of any conversion or any hit with some drive gauge behind it. But it's what happens on Wake Up 2 as well. I'm looking for that from the side of Moke. He is a complete package when it comes to Chun-Li. This is why I think him and Valmaster are the two best Chun-Li players in the business. And I think those two are also some of the best players in the business, obviously. They've been in top 8 spots. They've been fantastic in and outside the league. And I do think that the way they play the character is like to the full effect. Defense, offense, drive gauge, it's all there. Kabe, if he's on game, he may be able to take it. But again, different arena, different amount of people riding on you. Ken versus Chun-Li. Kabe versus Moke. Let's get it.
Round 1. Fight.
Already up to us, very aggressive start as we predicted. Moke being the one to start things off, already pushing Kabe to the corner. But man, it's the fireball read from Kabe, and he is lax, by the way. He's sitting all the way back waiting for that. What a time to check the drive rush. Moke still active, as active as ever.
Careful now. A bad Hazachu is a punish counter light punch, and a lot of things we saw Angry Bird do it. He's a fireball, denies a jump in with the DP. Ooh, no need to guess for him to wrestle with that level 1 and gets a side switch.
This is where the matchup comes to a little bit of a standstill, right? It's Kabe slowly approaching, getting the whip punish against the level 4. Oh, the potential kick second is spelled disaster for Moke, but he finds the mark. The overhead, didn't suspect it coming. You gotta spend the level 1. Is it far? Yes, sir. Far enough.
Round 2. Fight.
This is looking like a great start for Moke again. Starting things off as the aggressor with the fireball, though. Kabe not really making that read. The low forward punish counter against the sweep. Huge dragon lash to the other side. Uppercut for the damage. In pursuit, low forward. The drive run, the run cancel. Oh, what a way to sneak in the drive impact. Uppercut. What's the sequence? Slow forward for the frame kill, forward throw. Another drop impact and he's not ready for it. Give it to him. Shift booge and right shot. But they'll do it. And
the bait.
Smells nothing but doom from Moke.
Okay, it's that point here for the side of Kabe. As you mentioned, so relaxed, he's prepared. It's like he's playing for himself, honestly, but you know, that confidence is there. The ODDP immediately on the wake up, damn, and it works out. Kabe's definitely in his bag right now. These fireballs, a bad fireball means a big jump in.
Such an important case and also important spacing on the side of Kabe. Kabe actually hasn't contested any of the fireballs from Chun-Li with his own OD version, especially at this range. A little bit tougher to manage, I think. Throw, drive rush forward. No, he's waiting. Waiting in line for Kabe's approach.
Just waiting for a button. Anything. Let something whip. Let him swift thrust whip. He's gonna get that crushing mini kick. There's the OD. Not able to get a fireball. Perfect parry. The confidence, a toe tap, no counter hit. He's able to follow up that stand medium target combo. Slips in the crouching mini kick. One cancel. Enhanced Tatsu. The Oki is there. Quad hit, up and down. The level 3. Sim down with a Soten.
This is so important. Drive gauge recovery is going to be something that Moke needs to take advantage of. Is he going to go for it yet? No, he's not. Oh, what an interrupt. Forward throw. Kabe can do it again. Spend the rest of the meter for it. Oh, no way.
Big bet, big reward. Moke takes the victory.
Immediately, Kabe looked back to his teammates like, man, I can't believe he actually did that. I can't believe he had the audacity to send out another OD Tencho kick. I killed him the last time for it. But live by the sword, die by the sword. Moke making the appropriate risk assessment. Getting Kabe a little bit shook. I think what really shook Kabe the most also was not being able to pursue his offense after that burnout, right? He drive rushed forward, did a low forward. After that, trying to sneak in another throw against Moke, and then lost all momentum immediately after that. So I think it was a little bit of mismanagement of funds, if you ask me, over at the bank of Ken's drive gauge.
You saw Bitsy is up in this matchup too as well. Like playing that footsie game looking for something to whip, but Moke's not giving damn near anything. And now the fireball game of OD fireball cutting through hasn't been on the menu. I think he's so pensive about getting hit with a preemptive, a Zanchu, and what that leads into, that it's been difficult. Even when he's in a close range space where it's hard to react, he's afraid of Moke just sending that sucker out, which Moke has done historically in fighting Ken matchups. If he feels that you're going to do it, he's going to get a good read. He's going to get that follow-up. He's been pretty good in terms of results in doing so. So I think that off the table means you have less of a poke tool off the table to help establish that neutral, especially against this character being able to adjust her where she stands at with her walk speed, back walk speed, forward walk speed, fantastic. Stand fierce, swift thrust, those buttons also fantastic utilized. Again, annoying matchup on both sides. And the way that Moke is playing is super annoying for Kabe. He is not expecting that DP.
Yeah.
Guy has to find something different, bro. Has to be able to keep up.
Do you think he'll be a little bit more aggressive with his fireballs? Yes, he will, actually. He tried to, and Moke with the right defensive choices to stop him altogether.
I think you have to get aggressive. You have to get way more with the initiative with this character. But Moke's taking initiative himself and stopping that from even happening. The dash and throw calls out the parry, punish counter, extra damage, sauce on the side. Drive rush applied, no follow-up though. Tries to call for the corner. I like that punish counter DP. Back throw, back to mid-screen.
Oh no! What a full combo. Moke was actually crouching, and it was a counter hit, if I'm not mistaken, off of that dragon. That's an anti kill. More than enough damage. Yo, actually, Moke with the very last hit of the potential kicks, that was well calculated. Moke, look at that match point.
Okay, better round start. Shibu Jinrai lets it fly. That corner carry, damage on the deck too as well. I'm going to go for the anti-air, very awkward angle, the trade. Caught up in the corner. Moke harassed it, gets the chase down. That's one of the best escapes, but if you land in the wrong sort of way, you're going to get that punch count as you see right there. Now at burnout, just that level 2.
Confirmed. And the burnout sequence. This is everything from Moke. He actually has 2. He dropped the combo.
Oh.
He dropped the kill.
Everything. Still get the crushing kick.
What are you doing going on a medium punch like that against somebody who could whiff punish so easily? That was light work for Moke. 2 games straight, and also what's funny, Moke had a huge mishap dropping his level 2 into level 3 sequence. Really, he had enough left in the tank to build up a level 3 in his name. But that slight error, that could have been everything. Kabe falling pretty significantly towards the end. That was rough to watch.
That's unfortunate. Those are moments that are given to you, handed to you, where you're like, okay, this is where I run it back. This is where the protagonist music plays, and that's the comeback, the clapback. But it didn't happen like that. Unfortunately, Kabe getting cooked by Moke, who was just more prepared, scramble situations, way more ready, and just really dominant in the neutral, making it really pensive for Kabe to play. It's rare to see Kabe that pensive. He's a little bit slower of a kin in terms of how he approaches. He has those moments of burst, and then he just advances from there. But it feels like he wasn't able to get any sort of momentum at all. And when he did, the moments that he did, the rare moments he did, were taken off the table. OEDPs were great from his side. You know, that was fantastic. He only held 4 throws. And, you know, the drive impacts did land from his side of things, but it just, even with those good stats, it just was too much dominance in the neutral overall from the side of Moke. Just making sure that he couldn't press a button, couldn't apply those fireballs. I would like to see more OD fireballs, though. I think that was one thing that you pointed out that we didn't really see continuously. And when it did come out, it didn't matter because Moke was ready for that. We didn't see that more continuously peppered in around the normals and the normal fireballs, but I don't know if that would have made that much of a difference. Moke was playing on game, and that is 20 points in total here for GyoGun so far. Can they even score?
This is easily a do or die moment, I feel like, for GyoGun. If Saishunkan Seoul manages to secure this 60-point game, essentially, that'll be so much pressure for the side of GyoGun, right? They only need like 10 points away. I want to see it go down to the wire. And it really depends on who GyoGun is going to be setting up for that anchor match. Higuchi's been playing flawlessly, in my opinion, from pretty much his inception into the league. And he's only gotten better. Mizu, this is what we feared the most. Say, this is exactly what we feared the most. Like, as good as Higuchi performed, 3-1 against Mizuha, was there enough time for Mizuha to make that adjustment? We actually think we're going to get that answer right now.
That is a difficult order right here. We've seen these moments happen in the playoffs, in the grand finals, where this, you can tell, like this like the fork in the road, where it determines, it changes the future. Is it Mizuha coming up right now after a 3-1 victory, after losing, I'm sorry, to Higuchi? Is this the right play? The way that Higuchi was playing, it seemed like he locked every option down inside of Mizuha and how he wanted to play. It felt like he was the perfect sort of predator, and Mizuha was his prey. But when you have some more time, you have a break, you can think back, you can talk to your team and say, what do I need to do differently? Or if I get my victory again against him, or if I meet him again, I'll get my victory. Maybe it could happen. Maybe he'll have that boost after having some time to really think about it and say, I could have did this, even reviewing the match. And it's setting him up for a reason. So, you know, historically, I don't think these two have played. They haven't played. But the way that Mizuha got cooked tells me that Higuchi knows this matchup ins and out. Does Mizuha have something for him now? Like, this is, I don't know if this is the right play. I don't know. The way Higuchi was playing last time, man.
Yeah, whatever the play may be, right? Mizuha needs to score these points, because if you're looking at it on the other side, if Higuchi manages to snuff him out again, GyoGun being at 60 points is sorry, Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto being at 60 points will always be a tough position to be in. I feel like more often than not, you're not going to get a full-on sweep in a playoff scenario. where somebody who's down like 60 to 20 makes it all the way through, gets the rebuttal of 60, and then has to play again towards that final set. It's very difficult for any team to manage that. I think GyoGun, in the position that they were in going into playoffs, more often than not, I think statistics-wise, I don't know if they have it in them to last that long to win, possibly 4 games straight if they manage to fall now.
It's an endurance, right? It's an endurance run. It's not like it was previously where you play a big set, you watch other teams play, or you go home or you go back to the lab or whatever it may be to your stream and then wait for the next day of matches. It's, you have to run the gauntlet. And I think you're right. This is pivotal. They got to win this, because climbing that hill against this team who are just making slight mistakes or small mistakes, Kabe aside, I feel like that was like a personal thing more so than not, is a dangerous, dangerous thing. The way that Higuchi's playing, the way that Shuto can potentially play, if need be, the way that Nemo is playing, this a tough ask. So Mizuha, this really relies upon him right now to get this win, not only for the points, but to not have to make that huge climb all the way up. He said that he adjusted his moves. He said he knows what to do against Higuchi. I honestly cannot tell you what he needs to do differently, because the way that Higuchi was playing, it felt like it was a one-player game the entire time. He took down everything that Cammy wanted to do, from the air approach stuff, ground approach stuff, not keeping things tight. All right, I'm gonna smash that parry. I'm gonna take back my turn. Kills the drive gauge continuously. It felt like everything was in the hands of Higuchi the entire time. I don't know what Mizuha has in store for him. It's got to be something way different.
There were a lot of lucky moments, in my opinion, that were lucky in regards to like his openings with like the spiral arrow, the very tip, actually hitting Higuchi. Moments where the spin knuckle had caught the Sonic Booms at the appropriate time. I want to know what it is now, like to kind of piggyback on your statements. If Mizuha is going to play a little bit more of that grounded approach, kind of walking up towards him and try to trade with some of these Sonic Booms and some of his normals. I do like medium kick as a big tool against the Sonic Booms to get these trades. We'll see if that ever comes into play. Here we go, the anchor match. Let's start off.
Dash up again, try to get that dog kick situation. To cover the back heavy punch. It's an upside down kick. Careful, that hits with the punish counter. That's crumple into damage. That's crumple into a lead.
Yeah. The Capcom conversion off of the crouch jab. That's everything for Higuchi. Set up the blade after this. No, it's 2 Sonic Booms back to back. Mizuha still in trouble. The edge of the crouching medium punch right in line with the buffered drive rush behind it. Higuchi still looking very comfortable in the match.
Very compact and doing the most, getting the punish counter. Flash kick right after it, get some distance, sets up the Sonic Boom. Like, even when Mizuha walks up, he's not getting enough. You'd love to have a punish counter that's in heavy kick. We'll find it off this crouching medium punch. Spiral arrow, Oki, BD crouch fierce. Higuchi getting caught, swinging on buttons when he shouldn't. Punish counter, OD flash kick gets the hit. There's the activation. Plus frame situation, top positivity. Oh, aiming for the gauge. I like this. Mizuha has him caught up in the corner now. Do with it though.
Important break for Higuchi. Really picking his spots when to throw these booms. No charge! Not enough, not long enough. The backdash is there, but Higuchi, how long can he stay in this corner? Mizuha, he can't let up the gas. He can't let this positioning slip away from him either. 2 bars to his name. A single hit in front could do it from both ends. And that could have been it. Mizuha 2 times over. One last touch for Cammy. Can he put the final nail in the coffin, at least for the round?
I said heavy kick, maybe activation. Has to play careful right now. Lockdown, doesn't really feel like it. It's like Higuchi's the work. Oh, no whip punish. A flash kick. Enough, 19 seconds on the clock. No, there's the whip punish against the Sobot. Oh my God, but that was one hit.
There it is, yeah, now he's contending against the Sonic Booms a lot better. Catching it on startup. Some of the compact normals and quick enough to do so. Range out to that important tech at the last second. Hooligan. And to close the gap and keep it there. Yes, sir. I like the style of Mizuha.
As you said, looking for these trades, we're going to keep it as compact as possible. Not as many dive kicks. When he does it, it's super close. Big lead after that level 3. It's in his hands for that big 3. Count out. Higuchi just yet. I lied. The crouching media kick. Drive rush follow-up is applied. He's been catching these walkbacks, staying as compact as possible with the jabs, the crouching medium punches, contesting against the sonic booms, taking that off the table, and playing a lot more patient, it feels like. He's still aggressive, but he's playing patient around that. He's not overextending, not finding stat drops. I like this from the side of Mizuha.
Very aggressive start. He could do another throw. He tried to at least. Wasn't in line to get the punish, but instead punishes the Sonic Boom appropriately. The throw game, it forces Higuchi to falter. Folding like a cheap suit in the corner. Mizuha showing a really aggressive, different look. And it's paying off tenfold.
There we go, so that back heavy punch. Definitely has to be a buffet of buttons now from the side of Higuchi. I think he's got to engage the likes of Mizuha with less the sonic booms and more with the buttons. Dive kick, go for the sonic boom. That close, surprising from the side of Higuchi. Back heavy punch, fireball, definitely the name of the game, and the fake outs. Dive kick gets a hit, slight bit, but the stagger step and this pressure has been hard for Higuchi to read. He's running out of bar soon. Perfect parry to keep the gauge up, held to the side of Higuchi. Flash kick. Activation.
Perfect time to get that.
Healing.
But he picks himself in the burnout because of that sequence. The throw bait. Higuchi more than enough in the tank to give him the thrust. The Spartan kick.
Okay, trying to cripple him. The back heavy punch to be able to back up, have a lot of range, and find these follow-ups. So it's not strange to see that button continuously. It's building a bar, even on block. Gets a sweep for a sweep. Janitorial dudes are being done from Higuchi. He's got to be able to clean everything up, though. Finish his job. Burnout again. Oh, Mizuha, this is bad. Keep the call up in the corner. Not against Gout. He said heavy kick. Goes to level 2. It might be chip, no dip. Forward medium kick, punish counter, forward medium kick against, one more hit, the flash kick. Sets up the OD to set this man free.
Not much you could have done there. Maybe spend a Hail Mary level 3 to maybe use your invul frame perhaps, but that's a tough call also against the OG flash kick. Man, another big conversion off of the crouch jab from Higuchi. He's been so consistent with his counter hit conversions. That is a very, very well-placed dive kick from the side of Mizuha as well. And he dash up and continue the pressure, and it's stuck it in. The drive impact.
He's trying to find his way outside the corner. The walk up throw against the preemptive parry. He's been looking at these options as much as possible. Mizuha might have this in the back. He can keep that bar nice and healthy. He's got the lead. So these anti-airs, close range fireballs from the side of Higuchi to get some space in for this place, but it's not half the perfect parry. The gauge healthy. That dive kick, the jump back, perfectly done. Spins the bar to pull that burn up. The side spins the corpse up. You're about to drop. You can't do that. You better stop. No more bad spiral arrows. Punish.
This guy is so sick. This guy is the Terminator, man. He knew exactly what needed to be done to burnout and also knew the sequence afterwards to get the side switch and force the air. This guy is a machine. That was so well played from Higuchi. That is a highlight reel if you could ever get one together.
100%. Has to seal the deal though. High kick, drive rush in. The trade here from Mizuha. Whatever it takes to get this man caught in the corner. Late flash kick to get the cross-up situation. Overhead denied with the OD applied. Blessed to be able to have that OD that gets you a side switch.
Again, the body hop. Oh, you can't do anything about that unless you spent your super. That was the only way to get you out of Death's grip, especially with the amount of life left. Mizuha, he couldn't have drive impacted. Maybe he could have parried, maybe get a perfect parry perhaps. That's a little tough, a little bit tougher to manage, but mashing on the critical art would have been also just as good because it would have killed. It would actually kill Higuchi in that moment. But Getting a couple of words of encouragement. Yes, the anime spirit slap on the back. He's asking for it. Matchable passes. He's all right.
Give him your spirit energy. Yes. Turn off your cursed energy, so I can give you that pat on the back. Spoilers anyway. They're giving him his energy,
this is the most anime
buffing him
thing.
up. This really is.
He has
But now
a
it's out of
giant like
business.
red hand mark on his back now. The spirit of his
He's like,
teammates are with him.
You see him off in the distance in the sunset. Do this for my team. He really is, because we talked about how detrimental this is. If he falters right now, they have to make a huge climb. Cannot lose a single match after this. You gotta get that victory if you lose up. They are definitely riding on you to get that victory. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Part of this is Higuchi's fault. We've seen him put this man in burnout or bad positions that aren't even checkmate scenarios that have to deal with burnout. It's just, I don't have any health to play with. I have to hold this drive impact. And sometimes it is burnout. But some of that burnout is happening because of Mizuha. We saw him go for the drive reversal, and he went out and burned out his sort of way, but then all it took was, hey man, I'm gonna open you up, you have no more defense on your side of things, in no bar, you're fighting a bear and a burnout, you're holding all this chip, holding all this pressure, these checkmate scenarios. It's something you have to watch, and it makes sense that we see him pressure with this drive rush pressure, things like that, OD flash or OD dive kicks and things like that. But you have to be careful of your drive gauge. Reckless driving will get you in trouble.
Either way, the next punishment that comes, you will get your driver's license revoked if you throw it out recklessly. There's the big punish counter in anticipation for the boom and the throw bait as well. Mizuha looking for the big mistake from Higuchi, forcing himself into burnout, and there it is, the checkmate. In the air, perfect KO. That's all she wrote. Mizuha starting things off with the encouragement and good advice from his teammates. Very aggressive start and a positive one at that.
I want to say part of that might have been just like looking out for when he's got burnout. When he's in burnout, we see flash kick go off in the knot, dive kick, clips a limb. Now he's in, meaty crouch fierce, goes for the throw this time. The buttons, OD flash kick again. Lets it rip, some distance, but Mizuha still back in that face.
What a check, the crouching medium punch just at the right time to get that counter hit against Higuchi. A huge difference in demeanor with his presence on the screen right in front of Higuchi. Can't throw out a fireball. You can see him intentionally breaking his charge, forcing Mizuha to make the error, and he does. Higuchi, he got the bait out correctly against Mizuha. It's all down to management of the gauge now. If Higuchi manages to land a single sequence, especially with the bar that he has now, he could kill him.
See the shift with the drive rush forward. No opening though, Mizuha. Staggering that stand, heavy kick, looking for a punish counter to finish the job. Gets a dive kick, calls out the soap bot, and just like that, we're all evened out. What a dive kicks that are hitting the back heavy punch, the soap bots, better meter management. There we go, Mizuha, clutching it out. Ooh.
A really pivotal point in the match between not even just the players, but the two teams. Everything is on the line, I feel like, with this match. Is it weird to say that the winner of this match might just be the winner of day one? Is it weird to say? Is that too, like, is that reaching too far out there to make that assessment?
I do see a future where if GyoGun does take this, they ride that momentum and they take the victory. Obviously for Saishunkan and Kumamoto, it's a lot more clear cut, but I do see a future of like GyoGun saying, hey, we can do this, we can win. Like riding from Mizuha's success. And the way that he has adjusted himself and playing better, the way that a lot of these GyoGun players are playing better, I do feel like that's a proper assessment. I do feel like this match is what will set the pace, and I'd be very surprised if it's taken away in any sort of fashion, either which way.
We are getting a little bit of a powwow here for Higuchi to talk it amongst his teammates. I think there's been a very, very strong approach from Mizuha that Higuchi is not ready for. And it comes via the counter poke strategy with the crouching medium punch from Cammy. I think also the threatening range of the sonic booms can be just as much of a handicap against you if Mizuha can read it correctly, right? I think Mizuha's done a good job of figuring out when the booms are coming and also when to let off the gas to force the air against the Sobot kicks. He's done a very good job of making those two big reads.
Here we go. Finds a fat read against a fireball. Round start with that jump in corner position. Now listen, Mans is glistening. He is doing a fantastic job checking these fireballs on the ground and in the air and finding fat reward. Mizuha did have the answers, bro. Perfect parry though, it's not over. Attack on gauge for the drive impact. OD flash kick, can't spin knuckle in like that.
You're gonna spend the rest of it? Damn! It's enough for the last hit! He is so optimal. Higuchi is actually insanely optimal. Look at that match point as well.
Spacing with these fireballs have been fantastic, calling out the spin knuckles. Change the game, change it up. Spin knuckle not reaching through just yet. The perfect parry is there. The drive impact again. Is this a rerun? Didn't I just see this change the channel, Mizuha? It's in the bar for the drive rush after that crouching mid kick does put him up in the corner. Meaty crouch fears. He's in.
Oh no! The blade again. The dragon suplex coming on in for Higuchi. Oh boy! This is where it all get really messy.
It's a throw. Drive impact. Try to swing out with it. That was desperation. He's at that store. Spin knuckle in again. Activation. Attack on gauge to the burnout. Not even gonna go for the drive reversal. Steven waited for a little bit. Drive impact. Looking for a limb. Mizuha will not give it to him.
It's such a scary space to even try to throw a fireball. Good assessment from Higuchi, but it's the punish counter back kick. Mizuha spending the punch for the W because he was in burnout. I like this. I like this a lot. Match point for both players. No punish on the way in. Mizuha just find the big opener. Level 2 on his side as well. Level 3 does find a big opener down below. Driver forward, medium kick. Another medium kick down below. The throw, back throw with that. Higuchi has so much space to work with now. Mizuha has to slowly climb back in. Force down, good awareness. Damn!
The throw right after it. The throw right after. Higuchi has him on the back foot. No drive rush just yet. I think that was a fake out. Spiral arrow loses his turn. The overhead. Oh yeah, you are dead. Sonic Hurricane, and that is Saishunkan Soul. Kumamoto taking this set. A fat amount of points, 60 points awarded to them. Higuchi gets another win on Mizuha.
That is the definition of saving it for nationals. Right in that moment, did you see how much conditioning was laid out with his low medium kick? Drive rush low medium kick has been the bane of a lot of players' existence. But when the overhead comes out at the very last second, best believe no one's ever ready for that. No one's ever ready for the dragon to show off that last bit of his fang towards the very end for that bite on the overhead. Higuchi ensuring the advantageous positioning for set number 3. Wild and unpredictable. Wild and unpredictable is this team.
This dude, Higuchi, is different. Even like up to that point with the drive rush, I had to have been a fake out. Maybe it was a mistake. But you see how he woke up, he went for the parry, he pressed it for a little bit. I want to assume that was a little bit of a fake out to, hey, maybe you'll react with something, maybe an ODDP or something like that against my drive rush. And then before that, he's been doing like a lot of drive rush throw, drive rush weight, drive rush medium kick, as you pointed out. Then the overhead comes in to clutch it out at the very end, taking things off the table when need be, so he's not getting punched with these dive kicks continuously. Find those anti-airs, finding fat leads, using a bar at the bottom for something different. Not just level 2. We saw the crouch fears, and then that force knockdown state in the level 1 follow-up to get himself that lead. And it's been attack on drive gauge continuously. These drive impacts snuck into these conversions, forcing Mizuwa on the back foot. So when even if he does get a crouching unit kicks, he's not going to commit to a drive rush. He'll have no bar right after. He has to deal with Guile with damn near no bar. Just the way that he puppeteered Mizuwa at the very end in a long set shows you that Gucci is back. And this team is looking absolutely Gucci. 60 points. Only needs one more set. That's it. One more. I'm sorry, match. My bad. Let me
one more match.
One more match. That's it.
A
lot to really assess between both teams as we get another switch around between Saishunkan, Seoul, Kumamoto, and GyoGun. This is the final set going into it, but taking a look at the stats, man, what a story to tell from both ends, right?
Brother, the amount of anti-airs on both sides, 75% on the other side here. You know, the bust outs I thought were a lot more on Higuchi's side, but I guess he did falter 2 times right there. Throw game, teched 5 times, but 15 throws, he took the rest of those, or he took 10 throws out of that. I would take those 2 against like Scammy Cammy. Drive impacts, 3 out of 5. We talked about how the attack on gauge was definitely very important in killing Mizuwa's gauge and making sure he was on the back foot, or when he was on the oppression, he couldn't, you know, get more pressure off his drive rush because he'd be in burnout or waste that bar or be disadvantageous. Overall, though, Higuchi, I think, again, puppeteering this cat overall, especially in those last couple of games, and getting that overhead at the clutch moment, expert Guile play. Expert Guile play.
Yeah. His assessment towards anti-airs have been phenomenal, despite what the numbers have said. Him also taking to the skies to go air to air in certain situations, very, very well played. Very commendable performance thus far. Actually from both teams, but it is what it is. Saishunkan, Seoul, Kumamoto does have the significant advantage, 60 points to 20. When we come back, we'll have that conclusion between these 2 teams, so don't go anywhere. We'll have more right after this.
30目の試合となります。ここで少しばかりインターバルを取らせていただきます。こちらインターバルの前にお知らせです。ストリートファイター6にて世界最強を決めるカプコン公式世界大会カプコンカップ10のご案内です。今シーズンで10回目の開催となるカプコンカップ10はアメリカ・ハリウッドにてご覧の日程で開催いたします。各地域のストリートファイターリーグを優勝したチームが世界最強チームの座をかけて激突するストリートファイターリーグワールドチャンピオンシップ2023もカプコンカップ10期間中の日本時間は2月25日の日曜日に開催となります。大会の模様は全日程カプコンファイターズ、カプコンファイターズ JP の公式 YouTube、Twitch チャンネルにて放送いたします。今シーズンのカプコンカップも世界最高峰の戦いを会場でお楽しみいただける会場観戦チケットが販売中です。世界各地で熱戦を繰り広げてきた猛者たちが一堂に会して戦うカプコンカップ10、その熱戦の模様をぜひ会場でお楽しみください。またカプコンカップ10に出場する最後のチャンス、ラストチャンスクオリファイア、通称 LCQ のエントリーも受付中です。 LCQ は世界中から強豪選手が集結し、カプコンカップ10最後の出場枠をかけて最大512名が激闘を繰り広げるオフラインのトーナメント大会です。カプコンカップ10出場最後のチャンス、世界中のプレイヤーと戦うチャンス、どなたでもエントリーすることができます。なおエントリー人数上限は先着512名までとなります。またエントリー上限数は変更となる恐れがございます。こちらお気をつけください。カプコンカップ10の詳しい開始スケジュールや会場観戦チケットの購入方法、 LCQ のエントリーに関しましてはぜひ公式サイトをご確認ください。激闘を制し史上最高額の賞金とストリートファイター6初代最強の称号を手にするのは誰になるのか、王者誕生の瞬間を皆さん一緒に見届けていきましょう。そして開催が延期となっていましたカプコンプロツアー2023日本大会ですが、こちら日本時間の来年2024年の1月6日から7日の土曜日日曜日での開催が決定いたしました。大会日程変更に伴いエントリー受付を日本時間の1月1日お昼12時まで再開します、そして新たな組み合わせ表に関しましては日本時間の1月4日16時の公開を予定しています。こちらストリートファイター6の大会シーンを観客としてだけではなくプレイヤーとして体験してみるのもいかがでしょうか。 エントリーなどの詳細は公式サイトをぜひご確認ください。このエントリー方法がちょっと分かりづらいという方は YouTube カプコンファイターズ JP で公開されているカプコンプロツアー2023ワールドウォリアー日本大会エントリー方法の説明動画を、ぜひご覧ください。こちらタイトル自体はワールドウォーリアーという風になっているんですが、オンラインプレミア日本大会のエントリーの参考に、大体ねなりますので、ぜひチェックのほどよろしくお願いいたします。
はい。
またこちらのカプコンプロツアー2023日本大会の日本語実況ライブ配信に関しましても日本時間の1月6日土曜日から日曜日実施いたします。詳細につきましては後日の発表となります。楽しみにお待ちください。
はい。
お知らせは以上です。さあこの後試合が再開しますが、ストリートファイターリーグをより盛り上げていくために無料配信をご覧の皆様にお願いがございます。 YouTube のシステム上皆様の高評価数やチャットのメッセージ数というのは番組の拡散に、このおすすめ欄とかに出るところでいうと大きな影響をもたらしますので、ぜひ積極的に高評価ボタンを押していただいたり、選手の応援コメントチャットメッセージで送っていただければと思います。お願いします。
お願いします。高評価ボタンは奇数回押してください。
お願いします。ではこの後インターバルを若干挟みまして3巡目の模様をお届けしていきます。それでは一旦失礼いたします。
And we are back with hopefully more Street Fighter action. But right now, let me be real with you. Saishunkan Kumamoto only needs to win one set to seal the deal and move on to fight Detonation tomorrow. GyoGun has the work cut out for them. Even more so than now, Saishunkan Kumamoto is back on the home side of things. It's looking difficult. Vicious, what's your assessment about what has come up in terms of the roster for GyoGun?
This is a very tough draw, I feel like, for Team GyoGun, right? They're sending back their original squad just in a different order. They're sending out their strongest guns, and I say that respectively, right? These two, starting things off, Moke and Mizuha, they have been getting the most points for this team throughout the entirety of both seasons, and it makes sense, especially when they have the run of their tournament lives coming up before them. Mago being in the anchor position, I think that's totally fine. You're pretty much grasping at straws at this point. Moke needs to get this W. Mizuha needs to get this W. So this is totally a fine assessment in terms of the team positioning. They need to get every point as it comes to get into the tiebreaker set, quote unquote. Not necessarily a tiebreaker where it's first to one, but you know, the final set where it's 10 points. But with Shuto at the helm against Moke's Chun-Li, what's crazy about this is giving Shuto another chance at life. I know you're like licking your lips and salivating at this idea. This is way more dangerous for Moke than it is for Shuto, in my opinion. Matchup-wise.
You know, matchup-wise. For him to just kind of get a better grasp of this matchup as things go down, the way that Moke want to play.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see that. Especially because I feel like the way that Shuto plays, I feel like he's so ready, gets a fireball pressure, he eliminates other tools off the table as he goes along, and the more that he learns a matchup, the more difficult that he is to have to play against. The more that he stops things from you and stop things that you want to do with your character, whether it be normals, fireballs, projectiles, where you want to stand, how things want to land, the more he can do that, the more difficult it is. And I think historically we've seen him cook people the more he's played them. We saw how he fights JPs. He lost a bunch of JPs. He got upset. He said, if I lose to this JP, I'll never play another JP in my damn life. Ended up winning and duffing a lot of JPs after that. So I think that's a really fair assessment. I think that this is a worst case scenario here for Moke.
Yeah, really dicey situation. We talked about it prior, before the break even happened. If this goes in the way of Saishunkan Kumamoto getting 60 points to their names, it would be hard to see or even predict a possible comeback happening. As it stands, 20 to Saishunkan 60. GyoGun are the ones that really have to swim upstream for this one. Moke feeling as confident as ever, which could be a great thing. As confident as he is, and as big of a victory he had over Shuto, he needs to maintain that focus and that momentum, right? Let's talk about the matchup itself.
Right.
I think the way that he navigated as Chun-Li was just fine. I think his exposure, or finding out the weaknesses from Shuto early on and exposing them for what it is, was really well played. That low medium kick got him a ton of mileage, but it was also due to the fact that Shuto was making some pretty vital errors. I think there were some moments where he wasn't even allowed to press buttons after a blocked Gladius from closer ranges. There were moments where he misplaced some of his phalanxes. Also some really crucial moments where he had dropped his game-winning combos, or at least combos that would have opened up to a path towards victory, right? Granted, Moke did the same thing towards the very end, but I think he had a little bit more leeway behind him with the meter and also the life advantage. But Shuto, he cannot afford to make any sorts of mistakes. If he wants to at least clean it up against Moke. From like the macro perspective of it all, obviously there's a little bit of breathing room. Granted, they have 60 points to their names, so even if he happens to fall short here, I think it'll be just fine. But Shuto, he doesn't want to have his confidence knocked out of him going into day 2. So I think if we were talking really about the matchup, I think he'll take a little bit more of a approach where he's willing to grind out the time, right? He's willing to grind out his spacing to find his advantages to get some of these big counterplays that Marisa is known for, right?
I think one of the issues, and you definitely pointed this out correctly, is the fact that he's kind of rushing forward things that Moke was ready to read. We saw him back up, look for the Superman punch a lot more continuously, counter that. We saw him fall the fireballs because he didn't have the right spacing because of her great walk speed, back and forth, being able to gauge outside the distance of even Gladius. And so it felt like Shudo was kind of running the bad options to try to sort of get in. Now, I do think that he'll try to walk up a little bit more, drive rush in moments where he don't expect. Either way, this may be the final play for GyoGun and Moke, as Shuto could seal the deal and take it for Saishunkan, so Kumamoto. We'll have to see. It's only a first of two. Not a lot of time to shine. But Soul is definitely shining out here with that fat lead. That's all they need is
Could
one
potentially
match.
be the final engagement between these two teams. Let's see how it turns out. Game 1 of the third set. Look at the damage to the drive gauge already. The punish counter is there. I think that's totally fine for Moke with the damage he took. Drive impact already. I'm liking this early start. Shuto making it hurt. Command grab is a threat here.
Jumps us on the corner. Gladius not able to get the hit. Backs off that distance. We saw this previously in that distance where Superman punch might whiff. We'll engage on his terms. Oh, the sweep again against the crouching medium punch. OD up in the corner. Pick up the jump fierce. Not where she wants to be. Defense is not there for this character.
Man, Moke is on it. He is totally taking advantage of the throw game that Marisa is susceptible to. And it's difficult, I feel like, for Chun-Li to even do that in the first place, but she does get those kind of advantages, I feel like, against Marisa. So we'll see if Shuto finds his way around that on defense. The big counter post crouching medium punch against Moke. Moving on in. That was the counter hit, level 3 incoming. This is going to be huge for damage, but more importantly, the corner carry. Will he drive us forward is the question.
Will he walk forward heavy kick? Forward heavy kick, I should say. Oh, the bank, but still got hit. The drive rush throw, the stop, but got hit with the stand heavy kick. Big pick up here. Didn't get that much off. Gets the size, but never mind. The tall girl. He's trying to find an anti-air. Moke grabbing on the pressure. Has to be careful. He's in burnout. Bar utilized to the side of Shuto. Could be the drive impact. The car from the corner. You have to be careful. Reversal. The rebuttal after that flip up with that medium. Wake up super. No, he's out of there. Did he find the punish though? The dash up throw. Moke.
Insane. Actually insane decision making. I couldn't have seen that going any other way, really. That was a really great bait out against the level 1. And Throw would have done it as well, but going for the instant stomp, much better.
It's a man attack. The House of M still alive. Oh no, this is bad. Good drive impact. They're hoping to play around that idea. She jumps out, gets caught. You caught. You better stay sucker free. Drive rush stand fierce. Knockdown, drive rush stand fierce again for the plus frames. Where are you going? Bolt with that info.
Man. It's so wild to see how heavily this character relies on the drive rush and how well Shudo is managing his gauge to continuously force offense back to back to back.
She's a thirsty girl, but when she got that bar, she's going. Yeah, ice cap, ADP immediately through that. Hard combo.
You heard the flash of the parry. Counter hit as well. Shuto trying to wake up with buttons. I don't think Moke has to worry about himself being in burnout anymore, at least for this time being. Oh, no way. That's all she wrote, really. Moke looking at match point. Trying to keep the dream alive.
The House of M, we stand. Moke doing everything possible to fight out two-touch Teresa. Drive rush stand fierce. Starts the party off. OD caught for the corner. Doesn't have expend a lot of bar. ODDP though, the buzz down. Oh brother, you could have almost died. The forward heavy kicks applied against the throw tag. This is gonna be huge. They built so much bar after this jump pierce. Yeah, jump pierce right here. How much bar that she builds up in the quarter push. Almost back at this another level too.
Yeah, can't really pursue offense after that. Forward throw in the middle of the screen. Another erroneous super from the side of Shuto. You might be dead after this. No, you're dead. Guaranteed you're dead. With the amount of resources that Moke had, another big swipe from Shuto sends him down the ranks. Moke keeps the dream alive for Team GyoGun. Good composure, great punish. Shuto, I can't tell you what he was thinking at that moment. I can't imagine him being that overzealous with his super 2 times over. It was in the strategy, but it happened, man. Moke being able to enforce that error, riding that wave.
The fact that he had also the stomps on the wake up for that super to deal with it, get the side switch, the tech that this man has, and even just at a very basic level, the throw pressure from Chun-Li. We talked about how Marisa dies to lows and throws. Well, guess what? What's happening up in that corner continuously. The throw pressure. And you're so worried about sometimes pressing a button because she has that swift thrust at that distance that might clip a button preemptively. So you might get hit with a counter hit sequence right after it. So you're like, I'll just take all these throws. But they led up to so much damage, even on the muscles, mommy, that is Marisa. It still adds up. And that pressure allowed him to get going and flowing. Look at the throws coming through. Honestly, I thought there were more considering how many felt like they landed. 2 techs on the side of Shuto, but it wasn't enough to deter the throw pressure overall from Moke. He did hold those throws from his side of things. The DPs also once again felt like they routed back the momentum out of Shuto's hands. We saw that come through in the clutch continuously, and of course Shuto running those supers. We don't see him as reversals on here, but they didn't really work out. That would have been an 0-2 honestly if we did count those.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. What's wild about that is like keeping Chun-Li in the corner is no easy feat. If Moke, anytime he busted out with the OD Tensho kicks, it led to such a poor decision from Shuto immediately afterwards on defense. And I think Moke has done a great job on offense. Like, you're thinking to yourself, I know this is kind of played out. Taking the throw would have been so much better, I feel like, for Shuto. Even if he loses the estate, puts himself in the corner, that back throw still gives him another chance in comparison to attempting to delay tech and getting blown up by the roundhouse, the forward roundhouse of that from Chun-Li, right? So in hindsight, obviously, like, anybody could really make that type of call on analysis, but in the heat of the moment, it's totally understandable. Shuto still has to sit and watch the rest of his team pretty much pick up after him. This is where it gets dicey. Mizuha coming up next. From the away side, do you send Higuchi back into the realm to go for the 3P? It was a lot closer in 3 out of 5 territory.
Oh, Nemo! Wow! Maybe this is to save, but maybe this is to save Higuchi for the anchor position. It might be also just in case he can't get the job done. You have Higuchi to send it out. I don't mind this, but I also don't know. Is this JP ready for this type of Kami, this type of pressure? Is that defense really up to par? We've seen the defense get better. He was getting better with them perfect parries when he chooses the OD Amnesia, but Mizuha is a different beast. That defense is going to be tested. And this isn't to down in the JP players and things like that, but having perfect parry and parries in general enhances your defense because you're not relied upon OD Amnesia. And you're rotating those defensive options a lot more, and people are even more afraid of your wake up, and being able to run it back is so important. So we don't see that too often from Nemo. You see it more from Kakeru. Even Ryusei does it more often. We need to see that from here, from Nemo. And it needs to be right now. My opinion, I don't want them to go to a final game. You got Magojo, Satoru in the anchor position. Mago out here, the 2D god, saying I'm going to cleanse all the curses. That is a dangerous call to have. So if you're Nemo, you better seal the deal. Don't just do this because you want to save Higuchi. Seal the deal.
Yeah, this is a very scary situation to be in if you're either player. I can't tell you how often Nemo has faced off against Mizuha. In fact, I don't think ever. The only time he's faced off against GyoGun is against Mago and Moke. So going up to face off against Mizuha's Cammy. This is a matchup I feel like that has been. I'm gonna kind of throw myself out in the wild on this one. Historically bad for JP, quote unquote. Historically bad for JP, as Cammy has been doing pretty much everything to get away from like the ghosts, ghouls, and goblins. Really, I think she does a great job of traversing past everything that JP wants to do and applying pressure. But at the same time, the damage output from JP, unquestionably one of the biggest deterrences of anybody who plays the matchup, right? Like, it's any big opening could lead to so much destruction. So I'm actually kind of curious. I wanted to feel a little bit reserved when I said that statement, but other than that, I think, you know, Mizuha, he's in such a comfortable place with how he plays the character that I think he'll be able to maul out Nemo into his seat. But who knows, man? Maybe there's something. I did see Nemo practicing this matchup on CFN, and also, actually, I don't even get to see him practice this matchup on his streams as often against like high-level players. Like, he'll play against like Cammy from a ranked perspective, but I'm actually kind of curious to see like if he's going to be as comfortable with the caliber of Mizuha's Cammy coming up.
Right. Like, you know, on paper, it's gotten better for JP. You know, not saying like it was ever like the worst matchup for him, but JP players have understood they have to engage, and that's not what JP always wants to do against a character like this, where her light's leading to Oki. You're continuously guessing. You have to rotate that ODMU shit, which is a fantastic reversal. Don't get it twisted. Don't cancel me. It is a great reversal. It's the best reversal in the game. But to have to be on the back foot that continuously is not a good feeling, no matter what character that you play. And Cammy does that when she gets close to compact, gets the spiral arrow continuously, puts in the corner with the Oki, and then calls out all these offensive or defensive options. Then also she's got the aerial approach, the mix-up with the dive kicks that you have to think about even more so than any other character. Is it going to be a dive kick? Is it going to be a throw? Either way, you're scared of the aerial approach and the grounded game. You have to stay solid, and again, that defense is going to be tested. Nemo has to come through the clutch on both elements. Has to clutch it out here, in my opinion. Mizuha, back up to bat. Will get more points for his team, or will this be the end of GyoGun?
Round one.
Man, the drip on JP looking real sick. All right, here we go. Potentially be the final match. Nemo being the aggressor, getting the big punish counter throw to set things up against Mizuha. Very active with the drive rush as well. Getting the bait out, and the ghoul double departure keep her in place. One erroneous jump could lead to another. Perhaps Mizuha has not found the opening against Nemo-san. Another. Oh, the uppercut. We like the plus out. Oh, no way. How was he ready for that?
That was an insane punch. Baits out the OD Amnesia. Zip burn up. This is bad, but again, no gaps. The trade. Nemo still has the lead. He's leading. Backs up, missed the dive kick, and that's it. Level 1 starts it off with the first victory. Nemo. It's the first round.
What a stop against the dive kick, too. The punish counter stand jab into the medium kick, level 1. Nemo is not shy about spending his meter. He was very blunt about that at the very beginning. But one big erroneous cane swing leads to Mizuha's offensive strategy. Now, what will Nemo do getting himself out of the corner when he can't back out of some of the ranges of these dive kicks? This is going to be so pivotal right now for Mizuha. You can see it.
Dang. Calls out the Amnesia again. Gets a flip kick. That's it. Perfect KO. And what a rough bottle. Mizuha harassing him up in the corner. We do see the rotation of defensive options from Nemo. Wake up, 4-frame, crouching light punch, preemptive parry. It's not working out right now. I just want to pick up the fireballs ever so often, but it's just how do you get this character off? How do you get Mizuha off? Neutral jump comes through. To the overhead, the perfect parry is there. Here's Oki.
I like the idea off of the reset as well. Coming in from Nemo, Mizuha was perfectly ready with the parry as well, too. And the overhead. Oh, what a pickup from Mizuha. Catching him midair with that
terrific scramble situation. Level 3.
Oh,
yes, sirree. Story of GyoGun not looking so good right now, looking like it's about to come to an end real soon. Gets the jab, punish counter, and the crystal slash follow-up. This might be the finish, real close to it. We see Saishunkan Kumamoto only one game away to move on against Detonation. definitely got to take that second, confer with your team, get that power up again. You need more.
さあ追い詰められたGyoGunです。
Whatever it is that Nemo's been presenting towards Mizuha, it's a lot to stress him out. And Mago,
さあこのインターバルどう生かすか。
anything he can give him, words of encouragement. It's up to Mizuha to really ask the right questions for Mago.
かなり良かったと思うんですけど。
That's always a tough situation to be in, right? Like when you see your teammate
いやそうですね。
fall in such a way, it's like what do you say to like really encourage him, right? We've seen that from the side of like Street Fighter League EU, Street Fighter League US. There's some players that will like pinpoint some of the big mistakes that you've made to kind of give you a different approach, but that's really banking on your opponent making those same types of mistakes, right? And what's crazy about this is that Nemo played flawlessly, in my opinion. I think he played so damn well. It's hard to even make an assessment. Even Match1's like, hey man, good luck. Like,
Yeah, like,
go right back in.
hey man, get him. I guess. Like, you know, he did get perfed. That did happen. But what routed back was like the walk back jabs and like reversal. Like, you know, like he walked back a little bit, used a standing jab or crouching light punch. Like, it didn't work all the time, but it worked enough that he was able to stay fine and get that victory. This could be the final game right now.
Important right now to get that big opener. Mizuha now locking him down. Oh, the amnesia! Everybody's bane and curse in Street Fighter 6. Now look at the big whip. Gonna throw against the dive kick. You knew it was coming. He knew it was coming. Mizuha ready for it. The overhead. The ghoul coming out to play in the very last second. OD Amnesia to put himself in a burnout. Nemo is looking to do the same exact thing for Mizuha. Level 1 up tech. No, it's the drive reversal. Not gonna be able to punish though. Not even with the ghoul.
Neutral jump calls out the spiral arrow. I've not seen anyone deal with this raw spiral arrows. Not enough though. Here's a throw. Spiral arrow again, raw. Gets a counter hit. It's almost he's back with bar. The backdash against him. There's the OD DP through that gap. And just like that, he stays off that point. We're gonna swim upstream.
Very big call out too against the swing. Nemo thought he would possibly get against Mizuha. Departure, throwing a couple of ghouls as well. Another departure to keep him locked out in place from full screen. He's forcing the approach, but in a manner that Mizuha has to give up some of his meter, and that's actually a great opener, sacrificing that meter as well.
Stand jab, crystal slash, been the savior of the day. Too far for that throw, but no rebuttal though. Neutral jump again, see that neutral jump trying to call things out. Drive rush throw, gets a command grab, embrace me with the OD. To finish the job though and put himself on set point. He also has a lot of bar to work with. That CA could be seeing a ton of damage. The anti-air is right there.
Medium punch. Check the approach again from Mizuha. No way. Does that hit? It does not. Oh, last end towards the end. This might be the finish line, the final lap for Nemo and Team Saishunkan. Soul Kumamoto, can they close it out with the big advantageous meter under his name? We'll see.
Drop kick lands, meaty crouch fierce, walks back, trying to open up. Good defense here from Nemo. Delayed 4-frame jab. He finds a drive rush crouching medium punch. It's time for offense. The gas that goes quick to the most. Gets a side switch too as well. Off the back where he's going for damage and the setup. Meaty Pierce, you gotta be careful of the departure. Once again, lets it loose. Drive rushes in for the pressure, misses the stand Pierce. Leaking the dive kick, Mizuha with a bad whip. Oh man.
Man, he's so active with his defense against the dive kicks. I'm loving this side of Nemo. Very aggressive with the drivers. The jump throw to stop the dive kick in his tracks. Nemo needs one more sequence. More so now than ever. Do or die. Can Mizuha stay alive?
Okay, here we go. He gets the spiral arrow. Let's make a decision. He blocks it out. Finds the OD into level 2. Oh no, you might be through. He gets it, and that's it. Saishunkan Kumamoto will be moving on to fight that nation. Focus me. 70-30 takes down GyoGun. It looks like they were on the menu. What a match! And Nemo coming through in the clutch for his team. He said it cannot just be Higuchi. It cannot just be Shuto. I, as a captain, have to step up, and today he did. Oh, the pain on that man's face, though.
Nemo really stepping up to the bat, leading as he should in moments where he needed to the most. You're looking at Nemo's record this half of the season. 1 out of 8 victories. 1 victory out of the 8 matches he's played in the second stage. Nemo was not able to find a lot of success, but where it mattered the most, during the playoff spot, he's taken down name after name. He took down MATCH1 2-0. He took it down for the team against Mizuha. I couldn't imagine a better feeling for not just the captain, but for Saishunkan, Seoul, Kumamoto. You can see turmoil from the other side of GyoGun. Mizuha not even wanting to face the camera. He's in complete shock. MATCH1 head in his hand. Moke, you know, a lot's got to be going through the minds of these teammates, right? Moke pulling in his weight, getting his W, and the confidence booster they needed. Moke was undefeated in his matchups, by the way. Didn't lose a single game going into it. That's tough. Tough pill to swallow.
You know, it's not the GyoGun was a bad team at all. It's just that Saishunkan, Seoul, Kumamoto fixed a problem that they've had for a while. And that's the entire team being strong, the entire team coming into form. Kabe, maybe not always performing in the best sort of way, but enough where he put on the pressure on the other team and showcase that he can be there. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow. I think that will still be a pivotal point, but Nemo stepping up the bat, I think, is the most interesting story and the most important story. Obviously closing it out, but having these points on the board for his team, being able to clutch it out as the captain. Look at the anti-air ratio on his side. This is the problematic thing for the likes of JP. She's got the dive kicks. It calls out the crouch fierce in some instances. Awkward angles, but he's able to get the crouch fierce, the air-to-airs, the air throw too as well. We saw clutching things out. And, you know, he held quite a few throws. He only tech one. But overall, I feel like the defensive alterations, the defensive choices that Nemo did, that I don't typically see from him. Walk back jab, jump medium punch preemptively against spiral arrows. He's doing those things against certain moves, and also just having better innate defense of himself. Yes, ODM got called out a few times, but the alteration overall made it hard for Mizuha to be like, when can I get in and start my oppression? You saw the confusion, you saw the scrambles that had happened. It all led to Nemo being able to run his offense once he got that momentum back in his hands. 70-30, takes it for the team. The Brute King reigns supreme. They move on for a fated battle against Team Detonation Focus. We'll talk about it in a second because that's going to be wild. Versus Nemo, that's crazy.
My God, I forgot about
yes!
the two knuckleheads going at it, huh? It's like watching grade school kids fight, the way they bicker back and forth every single time they're on stage together. But what a story to tell. Yeah, no, I think his active defense is what really stole the show, in my opinion. There's a lot to talk about in regards to what the matchup results have been like throughout the history of the meta. I think obviously this is more ammunition for the JP Army, or against the JP Army, if you will. But I think I will attest it to Nemo's awareness of how often Mizuha would take to the skies, or at least his reactions and his reads and his anticipation of what Cammy can do in certain situations really led him to victory there. On top of the pressure from his meter management with level 2, his drive rush decision making to tempt out anything that Mizuha wanted to counter with. I think it was all really well played. So again, another shift in the meta.
Real good stuff from the side of Nemo. I mean, him even calling out these options that Mizuha would want to do just in general was understanding the matchup overall. And I feel like JP players, they kind of have to now that people understand how to fight that character. And we talked about how the meta has been pushed out here at Street Fighter League Japan. We've seen it week after week. We've seen these cats fight back and forth. And honestly, the JP players overall have not been getting the victory. They have not been at these top spots continuously. They've not been, the ones dominating everything. So for Nemo to do so, after we've seen him lose so many times, is actually an amazing thing. And I guess we're starting off with Kabe here for the interview. We're going to be getting that real soon. Shouts to Kabe. Once again, coming in the second part of the season cannot be easy in this team sort of battle, which many players are not used to unless they run through a league like this. For him to acclimate as he has been nothing short of amazing. He's been a fantastic player for years upon years. We saw him in second in Street Fighter 5. In 6, he's been smoking cats left and right. He got in the top 8 of World Warrior. We talked about that in the regional finals, defeating Tokido in the mirror match, which was amazing to see. For him to be out here is well rewarded. I hope to see him out here no matter what happens for any season. I hope to see him continuously because he is definitely a great addition. It's just getting those nerves off. In fact, he says there's a lot of time to get ready. To think about the first game for me, it was great for him to be able to win. We talked about how he needed to be up there. If his team felt like he should go up there, then they felt like he was ready, and that was a really good sign. So for him to get that victory, it felt like it was do or die time for him, and he was able to swim.
Swimming against the current, that was GyoGun, that is for sure. That is a fact. He got his first W against Mago. He fell a little bit short to Moke, but who could blame him? Moke went undefeated throughout this whole ordeal. But speaking of undefeated, Higuchi, also another one of those cats, right? He went 3-1 against Mizuha and performed exceptionally well towards the end, getting that final result, getting that extra lift that Saishunkan Soul needed against Mizuha in back-to-back matches. I think there's a lot to really talk about there. We are going to get the translation from Higuchi's perspective as well, but Shuto, surprisingly enough, was the only one that really fell short, and he has been one of the top point earners in the league, and also I think one who has had the biggest spotlight, right? Being the modern Marisa, being the one to pave the way for the other Marisa players for the region of Japan also. So I think it's a lot to really talk about his downfalls in his matches, right? It's only going to make him sharper going forward. And I think Shuto's had that kind of run as well in previous seasons where he didn't really get to perform the way he wanted to in playoffs, but now that he has a second chance at it, I think we're going to be expecting a lot stronger of a performance. But we do have the translation coming in from Higuchi. He had his moment, he's saying, I was thinking I was the key to this match, and it was great that I was able to win all of it. Shuto also had his piece if you wanted to chime in on that.
Yeah, he said, unfortunately, I lost, but my teammates helped me out. I'll get ready for tomorrow. So as you said, prepare and sharpen up. I do feel like it's one of those things where the stronger a player is out here, especially if they're more unique, the more people might do some more studying against that person. So have that target on his back. I'm sure people were ready and prepared to fight Shuto. He has already been so dominant, and we saw him dominate Street Fighter 5. Why not be prepared for him? But I don't think people were super prepared, like Nemo, to show out the way that he did on defense, on offense. I think that's also part of the reason why Mizuha was so surprised at what was going on. Nemo on defense doesn't really play this active or really have that strong a defense just in general. He shorted up and had some things that were pre-made, tailor-made for Mizuha. So I think that was just that X factor that the other team wasn't really expecting. And Nemo says, as Higuchi has said, he was the key to victory. It was up to me to win against Cammy on that last game. It was nice to be able to do so, but no, Nemo, I think you're underselling yourself. I think you were also a big key to victory, because without you, I think it was just Higuchi and Shuto, and that's not enough.
Really, really heavy statements inbound from the side of GyoGun, and I imagine Mizuha in the hot seat first. He was honestly one of my MVPs of the season. I think Mizuha had really excelled as a player towards the end of Street Fighter 5 and really set the pace quite well with his character. And it's not easy to do so. I feel like he was on the back burner, I feel like, with Cammy for a little while, trying to figure out the ins and outs. And then there was a sudden moment, I think, where the light bulb finally clicked for him in between seasons, like the intermission between seasons is where he finally found his footing. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough towards the end as we get the final moments. Hameko had asked GyoGun Mizuha a couple of questions, and Mizuha, his rebuttal is, I practiced, was really confident, but wasn't able to win here. And I'm very sorry to my teammates. I'll get better. for next year.
It's sad to see him say that because outside of the playoffs, he's been fantastic. So
Agreed.
but maybe that's the energy that you need to push yourself, even if it's false. It may be that moment to kind of push you forward. So we'll definitely see him cook. And again, we're getting words from Moke, who, as you mentioned, undefeated. Absolutely ridiculous. We talked about how he's one of the best Chinese players, if not one of the best in the business. I think traveling around the world definitely helped him. Going to premieres helped him get a better idea of these matchups and how to play, got more exposure. Moke says, personally, I was happy to win, but as a team, it was unfortunate to be able to clutch out that victory. It's a team-based effort out here. You can't just rely upon one player. Not that saying that they were, but that's how Street Fighter League goes. You might look at a team and say, oh, this team is cracked. They're amazing. But it don't happen like that where they take that victory, because it's a matter of everybody together. Strategies, getting points together. It can't just be one person on their back.
And I think a lot of the players understand that, right? I think a lot of the players have put in the work to come together and figure out some of the strategies involved. Some more so than others that we had seen. Saishunkan stole Kumamoto. One of the biggest things that we talked about, even with production before the matchups that even happened, is will Nemo step up to the plate, right? Will he rely on just his teammates to gather all the intel and execute, right? But it was Nemo who had finally shaken up the standings with his impressive play against one of the harder characters to contest against, as JP, in my opinion. Yeah, I think, the preparation as a team, some players have it and some players just need guidance. You know what I mean? Like, not to say that GyoGun was too far out from it. I think as individuals, all of them are very outstanding players. They might have just been a little bit short in regards to just the planning phase of it all. And that's, I think, the integral part of any team tournament. But again, as individuals, when they play over at World Warrior, amazing performances all around. So I think it's one of those moments where the team that they face off against just happen to play better. And that's the honest truth, right? There are some teams that just happen to outperform you on certain, like any given day. But without a doubt, I'm very, very happy to see the growth of this entire team, GyoGun. Right? GyoGun's always been the type that's like, will they make it into playoffs, right? That's the team that's easily the most entertaining for me. It's like, will they hang on enough to make it through? And when they finally make it through, it's like, thank God, it's cool to see them get the respect they deserve, because they're such a well-rounded group of individuals. They just need to figure out a way to get the team synergy going.
They're so close to doing so. Really make the playoffs has been nothing short of amazing, especially with stacked teams, new teams that we've had out here in general, a brand new game. They're so close to doing so, and I expect the next season to be even more outstanding for them. Mago says that our league ends here, but we have been playing Street Fighter. We've been playing so much just in general in the league that we lost today. It's unfortunate that we lost today. So sorry to the fans, but we will go higher next year. And that's something that I honestly expect from them. I definitely agree. They're one of the most entertaining teams to watch. They're really great cats. I think the synergy wasn't there. I think just in general, like at the highest level, I think when it needed to be to get to the playoffs, it was there, because we don't ever see GyoGun swim up this far, right? This has been a rare shot of them being in the playoffs, but to make it here against Saishunkan Kumamoto, who fixed their problem, they weren't able to fix theirs. Just shows that it was just a better strategy, better day for the side of Seoul. But GyoGun got to hold their heads up high. I think next season will definitely be even better for them. And they had great play today.
Yeah. Final moments.
さあ改めて本日プレフデイ1の結果、最瞬間ソロ熊本が
A little bit of an ad break threw us in for a loop, but one thing is for certain, Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto moving on to day number 2. We already know what that's going to spell for the matchup, right? Vicious back at it again with St. Cola. It's going to be Nemo's squad versus Itabashi Zangief's squad, and you know, as a Street Fighter fan, you couldn't ask for a better script, and it's going to be pretty enlightening to see with Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto and their most recent victory in the way that they've been performing. It's going to be very interesting to see how they fare up against someone who has, you know, with Destination Focus Me, with a group that is just so well gelled together. And also, the man with the plan, Fudo, has been an absolute machine, right? So I feel like that's going to be the biggest takeaway. How do you stop the machine?
Bro, I don't know. We've seen it happen, but it hasn't happened consistently enough. We've seen this dude be a demon. We've seen players around the world say that he might be the best in the business right now, or at least in contention for that. You have that person on the team, but not only that, you have the likes of the Trickster, John Takuchi. If you're looking for Rashid practice.
最後にカプコンからお知らせです。現在グランドファイナルのウェブ先行視聴チケットが発売中です。さらにその先であるグランドファイナルでは日本最高峰の戦いをリアルで楽しめる会場観戦チケットも E プラスより数量限定で販売いたします。会場前方中央席 A 席に関しては現在すでに数量分のお申し込みをいただいておりますが、通常席 B 席に関しては若干数販売が残っております。また今後もしキャンセルが発生した場合には E プラスで随時購入可能となりますのでチェックいただければと思います。そして日本最強チームの座を勝ち取りワールドチャンピオンシップに出場するのはどこのチームになるのか、過去最高の盛り上がりを見せるストリートファイターリーグプロ JP2023 の結末をぜひ皆さんの目で見届けてください。チケットの購入についての詳細はストリートファイターリーグ公式サイトをご確認ください。それではストリートファイターリーグプロ JP2023 本日はプレーオフのデイ1をお届けいたしました。実況私大和修平、解説ははめこさんでお送りいたしました。はめこさんもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました、
それでは明日のプレーオフデイ2でまたお会いいたしましょう。それまでさよなら。